Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to Trader TV Live. We're seeing some interesting moves this morning as far as individual stocks are concerned. Overall, futures pointing to another solid gain today after we saw a decent recovery throughout the session yesterday. Markets right across the boards, for the most part, finishing near day highs on the session yesterday, which was good to see. Some cruise lines getting crushed here in the pre-market after Norwegian came out and announced a huge offering this morning and said they may have cash concerns going forward if this is a prolonged shutdown. Carnival, meanwhile, announcing they will reopen some operations as soon as August. CCL also getting hurt here with this Norwegian news in the pre-market this morning as well. We did see, as I mentioned, that big move up yesterday throughout the session. Most U.S. markets finishing at or near session highs on the day yesterday, even as the Trump administration continues to talk about possible new additional sanctions on China and the World Health Organization for their initial work to kind of contain the COVID-19 outbreak and lack thereof. Meanwhile, more earnings to get through this morning from the likes of Wayfair. Online retailer reported. Pfizer's moving. We have Shake Shack moving as well in the pre-market after earnings. Lots to get to this morning. It is Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. A little mixed as far as these are concerned. You can see Nifty down there to the downside in India. We had Korea lower and Japan also to the downside. Everything else nicely higher. We'll shift over to Europe and have a look at how things are shaping up so far throughout the European region. Yeah, nice gains. These were a lot higher when I sat down this morning, but coming in a little bit here, still 1+% for the most part across the board. Let's go over to North America and see how things are shaping up with about a half an hour to go here before we get things underway. Have a look at crude oil down there at the bottom again this morning, 13% to the upside, extending gains from yesterday's session. I think we ended the day up around 6% yesterday, the fifth day in a row now to the upside for crude oil. So nice to see. Yeah, 1+% right across the board for the most part. All about the cruise lines here this morning. We're going to get to our good friend Arun coming up once again this morning. Sean is back. Welcome back, Sean. We missed you yesterday. Arun's going to swing by and let us know what is happening on the futures as far as he is concerned. But yeah, lots of cruise line news to get to here this morning, guys.
No, you said it. You dropped the news there on Norwegian Airlines. Concerns about their being able to continue. Look, it obviously is going to be the big story today. And we sort of talked about this. The travel space yesterday was going to be in play. And then today we see some follow through just looking at Norwegian through 13 here. I'm going to drop the numbers for you very, very quickly. And then we'll talk about Sean catching a little bit of CCL there. Yesterday, 30,000 was the top mark in the NASDAQ or New York by one of the individual traders at Day Trade the World. NASDAQ 26,000. Amsterdam number 3. 12,000. London, someone pulled 87 grand out of that market, and Germany 8,000. Toronto, you see there 6,500. There was some in play stocks yesterday, especially in the cannabis sector. So lots of money to be made today. It's going to be heavily weighted, Sean, going right back to the well with CCL, RCL, and CLH as well.
Yeah. We were just, I was just sitting here watching it, and CCL was going to be one of my top plays anyways, and it was actually going to be long CCL, but as you can see, the market just started fading out on CCL, and we had no idea what was happening, so I kind of just waited for a key level here, which was 1450, and got that short. Took some out right away, like within 5 seconds, at 42, then 32s, and then my best out down here, which is where I pretty much got at least half of them out, if not more down here, 1415, 1416. So CCL, yeah, going to be back in the run. I see Mr. Ribeye there. Yeah, thank you. I think, who was that, Matt or Robert? But Eric, it was Eric. Yeah, I posted some nice ribeye steaks there we had on, I believe it was Saturday night on my Twitter feed. So follow us all on Twitter, guys. The show's getting big. We're posting our charts and whatnot. And yeah, it's glad to be back. Had some family things yesterday, and we're back today. And I'll never take a day off unless it's a vacation day, Brendan.
All right. Yeah, sounds like a plan. It is a busy morning. Let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning and hello everyone. Welcome to the Trader TV Live. Guys, I wish you a great trading day, and we are here to make it even better. Write on the chat your trades, ask questions and leave comments. Kevin will be helping with questions on the chat, and of course we are here for you. And hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share the link with your friends. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
Sounds good. Let's jump into some markets here. We'll have a look at the futures to start things off with Arun. Arun was in-house yesterday, joining us remote this morning. Good to see you once again, Arun. A busy morning once again, lots of earnings, lots of movement as far as the futures are concerned. We'll have a look at the ES here, up about 1.3%. We're a little bit off the highs already, though.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we're right at the highs there. 28.62 right now on the ES futures, both up, NASDAQ and ES. They're in line today. It doesn't happen too often when both of them are in line. ES up 1.3% and NASDAQ up 1.29%. So they're lockstep today, which is interesting because this is the main reason why I moved away from the NQ and went to the ES, because they were out of touch with each other. Now they're back together again. We'll see how this one plays out. I might be going back to the NQs pretty soon, but for now, ES futures is still in play for me. 28.65 is a level I've got. That is the high. That is the overnight high right now. That was put in about 4 o'clock this morning. If we take that, there might be a shot up to 28.90. That's my secondary level on the upside, and the bottom 28.45 is the support base. That's it. In terms of levels, that's the 3 levels we work with. We're really close to 28.65, but we take that, we may have a shot up about 20 points, 25 points. Bottom end is 28.45, right? I am going to give you some levels more than just the ES, so I did take a look at the NQs as well. NQs 88.60 seems to be in line with the 28.45 on the ES futures, and 89.55 is the top end for me. So again, 88.60 and 89.55 on the top end. Those are the 2 levels. And you mentioned crude as well. I took a look at that as well. Crude, man, that thing's gone. That thing has just taken off. It's sitting at 23.05. This is a June contract. It's sitting at 23.05 right now. The closest level I have is 21.10. And when I say levels, I mean, these are like levels that I deem to be clean enough to actually be worth taking risk in front of. I'm sure you can find like micro levels to work with. That is not the type of levels I like to use. 21.10, so there's no way I'll be touching crude right now. Most likely I will be inside of the ES futures to work with. I might be moving into the NQs pretty soon. But for now, it's ES all the way.
Yeah, we're seeing this continued optimism when it comes to things starting to reopen and get back to normal as far as global economies are concerned. I wanted to mention, though, you mentioned that high that was put in on the equity side as far as the futures are concerned.
Yep.
Overnight. We also had that big sharp move to the downside overnight. Yep. What do you make of that aggressive selling that came in throughout the overnight session? I guess on the ES we got all the way down to about 28.32 at the bottom there. Is that going to come into play if we do see some selling come in today?
Yeah. I should have mentioned that as well. There is a level down there as well. That was not the closest level, but 28.20 is down there as well. The only reason I didn't mention that 28, we put the overnight selling down at 28.32, but if I go back to the left from yesterday's close, there's a lot of activity between 35 and 20, which makes me think 20 will be the level. But then if we remember what happened yesterday, we were spending so much time between 10 and 20 that we never even got to the 30 level that I had marked off yesterday when I was in-house. So there's a huge gap that hasn't been filled in terms of volume, not physical gap, but actually volume related. So that's why I don't want to put any levels below 45, just because I don't know what that holds down there.
Great stuff, Arun. As always, best of luck today. We'll touch base with you again next week.
Absolutely. See you, Brennan.
Sounds good. Going to be a busy session, guys. We have lots to get through this morning as far as individual names are concerned. Lots of things moving around. Guys, I want to start with L Brands here. I mean, we mentioned the cruise lines. I guess we'll kind of keep things updated as the morning progresses as far as the cruise lines are concerned. Definitely going to be on watch and going to be in play throughout the mornings. However, we have other things to get to this morning. So let's shift down to L Brands. The story of Victoria's Secret continues when it comes to L Brands and Sycamore. They came out after market yesterday and announced that they have officially cut ties with Sycamore, and that deal is dead. That was from the L Brands side of things. Sycamore had already last week come out and said that. However, L Brands also gave a strategy going forward when it comes to Victoria's Secret, saying that the retail brand will continue as a standalone operations outside of its own. So L Brands to the downside today. We're well off these lows? Obviously, big move to the downside after market yesterday on that news, guys. Almost back to 12 here.
I think the key thing is that you see them move all the way back into what was support pretty much all session long at about 1170 on L brands. That's the level I actually had written down here. I think there's another stop there at 1210 to 12 to 1210, and I think in that range I was going to be a shorter anyways. I just didn't think we'd be gapping up into this. I thought maybe there'd be a little bit of a retracement after the open. It's put it on in the pre-market here, so I'm having a quick look at L brands. I think once we get firmly into that range where we're literally at 70 right now, a little bump to the upside, give it some room. I think this is one of those trades where I might take a small amount pre-market, maybe a small amount at the open, but I'm really looking to see if it fails once it gets back into yesterday's range, and then you get a secondary chance to short. I mean, something like this, you might get another play at prices you saw yesterday if you're a shorter. That's not going to happen if you're in the cruise line, so there might be a bit of a different shot here shorting in L brands.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's down 3% there. You get that news. I don't know, a big move down to 980 here, and then back up. So I don't really know why, you go down to 980, then you shoot right back up that $2. But L brand's going to trade by its own now. So yeah, maybe 1220. I mean, people like it. Maybe 1220. Maybe there's some more activists names involved here. Maybe there's another takeover coming on L brands, but 500,000 shares is a decent amount of shares. I'm not super interested in this name, to be honest with you, Brendan.
All right, guys, let's go over to Hertz. Global news last week. We were talking about it a little bit as far as the possibility of Hertz declaring bankruptcy. They announced after market yesterday they'd hired another advisor to kind of walk them through the process of the bankruptcy procedure. Looks like we had a little bit of more news, additional news coming out here around 8:30 this morning. I was just going through it a little bit there briefly, guys, but it appears there's some salary cuts. They have reached a waiver agreement with some of their creditors and some of their leasing companies when it comes to the vehicle. They also said they will not have to add additional new vehicles to their fleet for the foreseeable future. So you can see a big spike up here going back to about 8:30, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you caught this bounce already. I think at this point, the real play here for me is going to see if we can maybe take out 325 area here. You are seeing some decent size, and there's just a ridiculous amount of volume pre-market at 5.5 million. So you are seeing some levels form at 315, at 320. I'm also seeing as well. So I might take a shot at a 325, given that we missed certainly what could have been a decent breakout. It was right at that 830 mark. It was a 263, and that's one thing I wanted to play off of the open. I think at this point, if you want to see it retrace all the way, you're talking about 325 for a scalp, and then because the volume's so good, maybe you can use a few more shares here, and then if you're only getting 10-15 cents on a play in Hertz as opposed to filling the gap, which you kind of already did, you might just have to settle for that kind of a play.
Yeah, I mean, you're already down. I mean, that was the big thing here. I'm just looking to see, how many shares to use and where to cross down, because you're already down that 12%, right? So what we talked about here a couple times, SSR. So what SSR means, short sale restricted. So you're not going to be able just to go short here. For example, at 15, you have to take the shares at 16. So you have to take them off the offer. I mean, I'm just going to wait. I think it's a great long, like we mentioned there. I don't know if it's a great long, but I think if you break through 325, that's going to be sort of the resistance up top there. And then this support, VWAP 296, 297. What is VWAP? Oh, check our video out if you want to go to that market wisdom there. Valeria probably has that link relatively soon. 292 here on the short side. I am going to go short if we break downside 292 on Hertz. But I did cross all the way to like 285, guys. So I crossed all the way down. So that means that if I don't get hit like 292, 291, 290, 289, my order will sort of follow it down with a limit marketable order down to 285. So I like Hertz on the short side. Look, you get bankruptcy protection. I mean, they got advisors. Next, maybe a claim for bankruptcy. I mean, and who is renting cars these days? I would say nobody. You see Avis getting smoked as well. So Hertz, Brendan, unfortunately, a big American company. I heard they employ like 30,000 people. Little sad. They're not going bankrupt, but let's just see what happens. I'm going to take this little bottom here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to that the waiver that they did sign is buying them time. It's not changing the overall situation there as far as the lack of demand and lack of business. It's just buying them time to get to the next hurdle, I guess. Let's go to Shake Shack, guys, another earnings name this morning. The same store sales number was the big disappointment, down 13%. Otherwise, earnings were basically in line with expectations. 2 cents EPS on revenue of $145 million versus a little bit less than that on the expectations. So Shack is higher here. Very, very low volume though. I mean, we were kind of, lower aftermarket, higher aftermarket. We settled basically where it is now.
This one goes without saying, allow it to settle down. 32,000 shares in the pre-market is not a lot for a $50 stock. It's got a huge level on the daily when I went to 57.50, just to see it on the little bounce that it's made here. If it gets to that price, I think there's certainly some resistance on it. But until we get there, you do like to hopefully play some momentum to the upside. I was just sort of writing down. I had 54 break, but the problem with a breakout trade on low volume is it's just not worth it in the pre-market. If we can trade and hold above, I think we'll try to grab along in front of that price. But this one, we really got to wait for it to go 5, 10, 15 minutes and then make an opening range. And I'd hope an opening range breakout would be in play for me on Shake Shack. But again, the volume just has to come in.
Guys, I mean, we'll hit the slap shot early and often, hopefully, now that we're back here. $13.90 we just got out. That's a 60-cent win on CCL. So the fireworks start early and hopefully often here today, but I don't know. We just put that money in our pocket. Here's that trade that we talked about breaking down on that Royal Caribbean news, or sorry, Norwegian news, I think. 14.45 there, breaking through 14.50. There's that last out, $13.90. We park our order right there. Why did we take $13.90? You see, you do take a little bit of bunch up down here, $13.99 all the way down here to $13.91. So I just put my order at the bottom of this little range here, and boom, we get hit right away. I mean, not right away. I mean, this is a nice little 30-cent drop, but there it is. So we start off with a little cowbell winner for you guys, right to start the day. So let's see what happens here moving forward.
Sean, because I know everyone's going to be looking at CCL throughout the day, what do we look at as far as where to re-enter this thing on the downside?
Yeah, I just got into Hertz on a bad wick there. You see Hertz, so now I am now short Hertz. So I'm going to try to get out of some of this before the market does open. But
you got that 325. I'm in that short in front of the 25, Sean. So I kind of like it. I did see a bit of support there.
But I didn't mean to get into this one. I guess we just waiting for this. So what happens is, guys, like you see this wick here. This is what sort of me and Neil are talking about right now. When you're trading and like a bad tick comes in here or a dark pool, that triggers your order. So now I am short here because remember I said 285. 291 I wanted, but so when it comes down here, it thinks that order went through, right? But it did not. So I'll have to get out of this trade. But yeah, Neil, that's basically what's happened here. But now we have this 325 coming into play. CCL, okay, you mentioned that, Brendan. I would just say the same sort of area where I got in, man. 1450, 1460. I do like that. 1460 is the top. Wait for it to come back. It looks like I got pretty much a nice little bottom there. So I'm going to hit the Street Fighter Perfect and then work out of this Hertz as we go. But 1391 the low. I'd wait till 1460, Brendan.
All right, let's go to the next name here, guys. Chegg Online Textbook Rental Company. Chegg reporting their first quarterly earnings report and beating right across the board. EPS was 22 cents per share on revenue of 131.6 million, beating 15 cents per share on 122-ish million estimates. So Chegg, big move up in the aftermarket yesterday. Look at this. We're opening up almost 21%, pushing day highs here as we speak.
Yeah, this is a monster mover. I was looking at a fade on this. It just broke 52 even here. Its volume is pretty good. The liquidity may seem like it's a little bit dried up here when you look at the level 2, but it's done over 1 million shares in the pre-market. 52 on a breakdown is what I'm going to try to be taking here if it wants to come back in, just sort of using the high of day, up 21%. I'm really just looking for a short opportunity in Chegg. At this point, I want to play that momentum. I'll probably stay away from it if it turns into a runner. You guys have been asking about MVIS. I think that one feels like it's going to be a bit of a stronger play today. And we covered this yesterday about that bounce at 70 cents and how strong that channel was. It made a strong move through a $1.10 and is now gapping up, and it had supported $1.50. So, I have a support level that you can work with off that. So I kind of prefer to play in front of a support if you're going to take a long on a breakout. I don't think you necessarily have that in Chegg. Not yet anyway. So for me, not necessarily going to be looking for anything but a short retracement.
Look, I don't even know what this company is. So Chegg, CHGG, Neil just went over all the levels. So I think if you're going to trade it, go with that. I'm going to be on, Softy, Apple, things like this. Maybe some Beyond Meat, some Tesla coming through as well. So Chegg, not for me, but obviously a decent opportunity. I am getting out of some of this Hertz. We take the most out there, some out at 20, 21, and then we get some out at 19. It's just a mistake. You're going to see me short now. $3.15. I do not want this trade, but it was triggered in by a bad tick down here, guys.
All right, guys. Neil, you mentioned Microvision there, MVIS, big mover from yesterday. They actually report earnings coming up on Thursday this week. They filed their annual report aftermarket yesterday as well. So MVIS, yeah, another 50% to the upside today. Worth mentioning here, this one is really tiny, guys. $143 million market cap on MVIS. Tough to see, but that number right there. And then the free float, I wanted to point out here as well, 128 million on the free float. So not a lot going on as far as shares available for MVIS. So tread lightly on that one, especially on the short side. SG Blocks will continue on the small cap front this morning. The design and engineering company announced it has signed an agreement with Osang Healthcare to distribute their quick COVID-19 test in the U.S. So SGBX, guys, big move to the upside today.
Yeah, but it's already given back $3, so that's just sort of worth noting here. It gapped from $4.20, it doubled in price here and topping out in the pre-market, made a second leg all the way to 8 even before coming back in. So the levels I have on SGBX, 825 is going to be the first one, but that's a little far away. You're probably looking at something in the 680 to 670 range. That's where I'll be targeting off the open. If I can pick that up to the short side, I'll jump into this party. If it levels off here, there's still room to go, but it's probably going to have some trouble getting through what looks like the bottom at 566 here. It's try to put in a higher low as well. So if you're having shorts, you just want to make sure you have some profitability, away from those prices where it seems like it's trying to bounce. So SGBX for me, we'll take it around 687. If we can get a failure at that price off of the open here, we'll take that to the short side. Otherwise, you really did miss the boat unless you're trading, literally at 8 o'clock in the morning.
And you want to see a stock that's a catapult here. I know we'll get to this eventually here, Brendan, but Wayfair just keeps on going, guys. They come out with earnings. They're at all-time highs now. This was sort of an easy play based on Amazon and based on everybody shopping at home and no one being able to go to like the home senses, or we have winners here. I don't know, TJ Maxx. I don't know what some of the discount retailers are there over in the US, but look at Wayfair, guys. $130 yesterday. Bang, up to all-time highs here, 180. The all-time high was like 170 previously. Look at this move by Wayfair. Me and Brendan sort of scratched our head when we first saw this start happening around this number, and we were like, oh my God, that's a big report. And then bang, up 35%. As you guys can see, the daily chart here on Wayfair, there's nothing even to look. What the heck? Okay, this stock was, this is the best stock by far, I think, to bottom pick here off the coronavirus. Did this really happen? This went down to $22, up to 100. This is 9 times, guys, in a month and a bit. 9 times. So Wayfair, hello. Yeah, if anybody's invested in Wayfair down here in the $20 to $30, congratulations. But you're getting a 180 print. When I see moves like this, Brendan, I think about short because a lot, yeah, and Neil as well. There's a lot of pressure on this stock. I mean, people are going to be taking profits, I would think. So let's look for a wait for a short around 172. I don't know. This stock is nuts.
Yeah, it's the Kelly Clarkson effect, maybe. They have Kelly Clarkson as a spokesperson now on their commercials. Yeah, they reported earnings, guys, a loss of $2.30 per share, 30 cents less than expected. 2.1 million active customers, which was 29% above what it was last year. So a nice uptick in active users. Obviously, a lot of people shopping at home these days. I want to talk about Pfizer here. We're getting on in time, but Pfizer, we announced, or we talked about it last week, I believe it was. They teamed up with BioNTech, BTNX, to work on an experimental COVID-19 vaccine. They announced aftermarket yesterday that they are going to be starting human trials on said COVID-19 vaccine as of today. Nice look for Pfizer here today, guys.
No, it's definitely a good look. It's got some support down in that 37.50 range. Now you see it breaking through 38.50. It just took the pre-market high a few minutes ago. Strong move, but watch out. There was this 39.40 little spike where we turned around rather heavily. I think that's going to be the first resistance point. I'm not going to be shorting Pfizer personally, but I am looking for a pullback into that 38.50 to be able to take a shot. If we clear that, there's some room in Pfizer, but it doesn't have the volatility that some of the other names that we're trading are gonna have. So I think you're looking at more muted moves at times. You're not necessarily getting $1.50 winners on Pfizer, but that doesn't mean you can't leverage up in shares. It's pretty liquid. There are going to be some opportunities there. Just make sure you trade around those key levels. I'm targeting 38.50 as the first one. Pfizer looking very strong today.
Yeah, Pfizer's a good stock. We do like to trade that one. Okay, I may be getting into Wayfair earlier than I think here. So we do have our order to sell it short through 172. So if we do break this 172 area, we'll be short. Hopefully it doesn't happen until market opens, because I don't even want to be part of those market on open orders. So we'll see here. If it's a market on order sell, I'll probably get in, but maybe that'll push it down here. I wouldn't mind if I do go short 162. I would take a 165 print, so that would be nice. But we'll wait 172. If I do get it though, I'll probably won't hold it for very long, 177, 176 or so on the downside. But yeah, we're getting ready to open up here, guys. 4.5 minutes. Randy will be on the bell. Then we'll have Valeria and Brendan coming with news. But right now,
yeah, I think Brendan's got another name for us.
Yeah,
here.
he's over at the big screen.
Yeah, let's go to small cap world real quick, guys. One small cap for you. Watch APDN while I'm thinking of it. APDN, big mover from yesterday, coming in the pre-market already. This one though, TGTX, they had positive late stage trial data on a leukemia treatment that they're working on. So gapping up 26% on that news. Look at this thing right now. This is 16. This pink line is $16 even. Tight little consolidation underneath 16. Just be careful though. Above that, I mean, you're looking at 17 and a half as the next level up. So thinly traded name, but like the way that one's setting up, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching that one. It's a 15.95 is an iceberg right here, but it's not a large order. I'm just watching it hold. Pre-market action will tell you everything, but it's not a lot of liquidity at that price. So I'm not really eyeballing that one unless it gets a real test of 15.95. I do have that Hertz position that we mentioned. It already once bounced off 325. The first time we got 20s to the short side. Here is my average price. We did work into this one. We'll give it right through 325. I actually don't want to hold this one if it breaks at the open. We'll just get out, take the 5-cent hit and then regroup. I don't think it's worth digging in right off the open. Hertz has already put in such a gigantic range. To jump back over to MVIS, which I know you guys are watching, it did give a bounce. It didn't get to that 150, 145 to 150 target support that I liked, so it made a bounce off 155 here and just make another run at the top. So this one might not be done here, guys. Watch out for 180 break. That'll be the high of day. Otherwise, you want to use that 145 to 50, which has been good support all morning. Yesterday's support was a fantastic long when it bounced off there.
All right, yeah, only 3 minutes. Yeah, good look there yesterday. Yeah, missed yesterday trading, but I did see what Tesla did, and it was going nuts, up about another 7-8% there off of a crazy day that was Friday, where Elon Musk seemed to be on cocaine or something. 792 here to the top. We're going to take that. Oh, I put 791 as my stop order, so I'll have to change that. But I do like Tesla here. 792 to break the top. I'm only looking top side. I'm not going to look downside on Tesla, not yet. But if you do like that, that's 782. So I have Tesla orders pending right now. I have Wayfair orders pending, and I did put a little Pfizer trade here, 39 and a quarter. You know, if we break that above here, 39. I want to get above 39, trade above there. Then we'll be hammer time on Pfizer there as well. So it'll be a few stocks early. Hertz, Wayfair, Tesla, and Pfizer are all on my watch here. Wayfair hopefully doesn't come in the next 2 minutes, but we're waiting for this 172 to break. Hopefully that happens.
Sean, I actually just got a little bit of Hertz out there as it worked down to that 16 price. I'm going to keep seeing if I can get shares to 23, 24 in front of 25. But L Brands is another one to watch. It's actually getting very, very close to the top end of the range here. Yesterday's top 1210. If we can maybe zoom out and you can see this one a little better. Afternoon top 1210. It did spike up really early in the morning to 1220. So if you want to use that, I think it's worth it. If we roll over around here, this is what I was looking for on L Brands, was to see if we could fail in this range. Now that we're there, I'm just looking for any kind of a move to the downside. I'm probably going to be shorting 1190 on the way in, using that 1210 to 1220 as my stop. So L Brands firmly on my radar now, as we have about a minute to the open here. Hertz hopefully is going to flush down to that 290 that you like.
Yeah, that would be sick if that happens to Hertz. We got into too many shares here on this print, so we're just hoping it comes all the way back. I'm waiting down to $3 here on Hertz to get out of the rest of these shares, and once again, hopefully hit another swish for you guys. We're only 50 seconds away now. Wayfair, Tesla, Tesla, Hertz, and Pfizer all on my watch. Of course, Mr. Softy is going to be around town at some point today, so we'll talk to him. And we have MVIS, SBGX. There's a few little small names, and glad to be back, guys. Thanks for all the love on the chat. Let's see if we can't, Neil and I both can't come up with some winners.
Oh, it's going to be a good one today. I absolutely guarantee you this one. And those watching at MVIS is getting really close to that top. I know we didn't cover absolutely everything. I know a few of you were talking about Beyond Meat. We are going to cover it. It is running again. It's only up 5, well, I shouldn't say only, but it is up 5%. We'll get to that after the open, but we got to drop the countdown because we got 10 seconds till market open. It is Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, as Arun said. 5, 4, 3. Randy, ring that bell. Good. It's going to be a wild one today. There we go. I love the enthusiasm on the bell ring there.
All right, so thank you, Randy. Yeah, I have Beyond Meat here. I'll take this top off if it goes 101.50. Let's wait to see on that one. Right now, Hertz not doing anything, as you guys can see that. I guess it's open. Yeah, big market on open order there. So we'll wait on Hertz and see what that wants to do. Doesn't look like it wants to go upside there.
Immediately trying to take out that. Yeah, it just took out that 325. So I just reversed to the long side in Hertz. I talked about short in front, reverse to the long. You know that's what I'm going to do almost every single time. 27s long. Just got some out there. Looks like we got some 37s on the scalp trade. We're going to hang on for a little bit more, so slap shot action on that reversal. This is why I was taking profits out down here at 15 and 16 on the short trade. If it did break, we wanted to make sure we got some and then don't turn a winning trade into a losing trade. So nice long trade. We got 327. I'll give it back down to that 315 area. See if we can't fill in more of this gap here on Hertz.
Yeah, Hertz, a good trade on the reversal, and that's why, guys, I was saying you needed to wait for that $3 to break before you took some sort of a short, and Neil reversing and out long, so you make more money on the long than the short. Lost there, good trade. 172 here, still waiting on Wayfair. It's trying to hold up here. It's very, very strong. We're going to wait to see. Obviously, it's strong. I mean, you're up 30%, Sean, so yeah. 172, I think that comes in. It didn't blow off the top as much. That top right now, 178.15.
Whoa.
So if we do get short there, that's where it'll be. Hertz coming back down now, 325.
Carnival just spiked up to 14.85, 14.90 range. Tried to get to $15. It looks like it's going to make an attempt to roll over. It's going to be hard for me not. I'm going to start this position here. I got 67s, maybe a little bit too frisky, but I want to take this short in front of 15. That was a breakout. I was looking at long setups originally on Carnival, and if I was going to be long through that price, 15 and 15, 30 range, I'm going to try shorting in front of it on that bad news that we got from Norwegian. So let's take a shot here. We did expect initially that maybe there'd be a bounce in this market. They're still up 2.5% on Carnival. Let's see if it slides to the downside with Norwegian.
Yeah, let's see, guys. Big size here on Hertz, and Neil and I, again, we're doing different trades. We don't trade together. I went short actually up here at 337 to average into my price. There's a big buyer here at 320, so that's going to help out the longs. We're going to wait to see what this happens at 320 here. Battle on Hertz. I still love the short, obviously, and bang, here it goes, guys. We're short $3.22. So the trade that we hated now back into the money, but you still got to watch this 320 level. If this does break, then obviously look out below, and we'll see where this does go. But some nice low resistance there. We take out a little bit of our profit finally there for a decent win. We're not going to do anything. We're going to wait for it to break through 320 now, or use this 350 as a top, guys. But right now, Hertz a nice little average in. We'll wait to see on that one.
Yeah, it's got a little stability to it. MVIS, I know some of you guys are going to be tracking that back about to 160. I'm going to see if we can't dip into some shares in front of that level that we talked about. It's a little far away from $1.50, but I think it's worth a shot starting it with such a strong one. Brennan, what do you got, buddy?
Big mover here, guys. Right off the bat, GNPX, Genprex, yeah, 80% to the upside. Just took out $4 on huge volume there. They signed a new licensing agreement for a gene therapy that they've been working on. GNPX, guys.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone got Tesla there. I wonder what that first print was. My order went out at $791.50 and missed it. It ripped all the way to $795 there. So Tesla on this huge, I mean, what? This huge market move up here. Tesla runs the top side, and we did miss it. We did talk about getting it long, $791. We missed that print, and we tried to get $791.50, but that's a missed opportunity. And there goes Hertz. It does bounce off that $3.20. That's why we take a couple outs there, down at $3.20 for basically a flat trade. Now we just wait to see what happens on the top side. This is going to be a battleground stock, it looks like today. Wayfair just not doing anything right now either, guys.
Yeah, there goes MVIS, bounced bouncing off a $1.60. This is why I wanted to start this position in front of that support. Look, if it gets a shot to take out that high, I still like the breakout through the high, but I think if you can scalp some longs, taking some profit off of these levels, 150 of course is a good one, but let's run this one as many times as we can inside of the range until we get either a break or a retest to the low, and that 150 mark is going to be it. To the top side, it's 177 up here. I'm actually looking for a 180 break to go long, but I will be taking any longs out in front of these key levels here. Hertz for me, Sean, I'm going to let this one work itself out. I managed to reverse to that long trade, and it was good, but then, you know, we got the second half of that one out taking a hit, so not the greatest trade in the world. WTF, I could have taken more aggressive, taken some shares out. We've taken a stab here on Carnival Cruise, just sort of building a short position at 1470 in front of that 15 mark, looking for a rollover here ultimately. And you had the bad news from Norwegian. Look, I think if it can retest, get through 1450, we can not go down to those lows again, but certainly you can get yourself a nice 15 to 30 cent win here on a quick little scalp, hopefully in Carnival, as some buying came into it rather heavily at the open.
Yeah, Carnival, great little stock there. Wayfair, we did talk about that. What's the, Neil, you know the slogan. What is it, Wayfair?
Wayfair, you got just what I need.
You got just what I need, that's what it is. Wayfair got just what I need, but it didn't. 172 is what I need, so we're gonna wait for that one. Wayfair on the top side. And I knew that because Neil mentioned that before, and I never heard of it, but I like that. They got just what you need. They got a lot of what people need here, up 30+% here. We're still waiting for this 172 to come. Now I got to use sort of 180 maybe as my out if that does fade back.
Oh yeah, gates of hell action. I just got into L brands. I'll get to that in a second, but there goes Carnival to the downside. Just got out some shares at 1442. 70 was my in. I do like this chance to maybe get back towards those lows. Forget about 1385. I'm not really hoping for that.
Wow,
1406 was a move. I'd like to take this last third out in the 20 range. I think certainly if you can get 50 pennies on a secondary flush, I'll be very, very happy with that return. Again, I just like these secondary plays. Sometimes it's a higher percentage type of move, but there certainly was more juice to the first short in the pre-market if you could get that one. So, you know, kudos to anyone that grabbed it, Sean. It was a fantastic trade. Here's your secondary push in CCL.
Yeah, exactly. And good. Damn it, Neil, you caught that one. I'm jealous because, yeah, that's a great call. And that's what we look for, guys. You look for those setups. Failed, then back, and just great trade there to the downside. I can't believe I got that 1391 beginning trade. That was a good one for me at the beginning of the day. CCL, okay. Tesla, we missed that one, 791. But the thing is, it's coming up to 8 bills right now. So 800 here on Tesla. Let's see what that wants to do coming through here. Tesla 800 is probably worth a little bit of a try just as a love for that price level. Tesla here coming up to $800, Neil. I think that's worth a stab for sure if you are looking long. This market definitely wants to go. I mean, I can't believe we're back up to 2870 here, considering 30 million unemployed.
2865 was a big break, and Kevin was mentioning on the chat there this morning that that's a big level that we're working off of, and it just got taken out. If we can hold above it, wow, this market just can't be stopped. L brands pulled all the way back, and I'll show you this massive fade. I was thinking that there's no chance we'd get this short until much later on in the day, but already we're short 1186 here after it pulled in heavily. I'm giving this one to 12, see if we can't retrace some of this gap, but watch out for this wall at 1164. I will take some shares out in front of it just because it was a level in the pre-market, and then if there's a bounce, maybe we can get back in. So big time movement here in L brands. Just put in a 70-cent retracement play. Let's see if it's got some more juice to it. Brendan, what do you got?
Another one having a nice morning so far. Baba here, guys, 3.5%, just broke 197 there on decent volume. Had a look at it yesterday throughout the show. Was definitely weak on the day yesterday, but nice rebound here for Baba, guys.
Here it is, guys. It's a home run time here on Hertz. Great little trade happening here. We go short initially at 315 as a mistake. I wish it wasn't a mistake because then maybe we would have got more shares up here, but whatever, we'll take it. $3.38, our average price right now on Hertz, $3.32. I'm taking this out, 10s, 20s. This is a 20-cent move here, 20-cent win, sorry, on a $3 stock. So whatever that percentage is, that's a big win. So it's a chicken dinner there. So we'll see here on Hertz taking that out again. Really the only two trades I've had today, Hertz and CCL, and they're both to the moon. So this floss animation, we'll try to get that fixed for you, but we're flossing it off early. Some early wins. Due for Due. 2 for 2 here today, guys. Hertz and CCL for the win. Let's just find some more. Maybe Wayfair bumping, guys. Wayfair still bumping up on 172. That might be a great long.
And CCL just moving another leg to the downside here, guys, but it hasn't broken that 14.25. That's going to be my out. Brennan, what do you got?
Just watching Peloton, just checking on news. Looks like an upgrade for Peloton today, guys. Where's the chart? There we go. Yeah, it just broke 35 here at the open on decent volume. So higher than normal volume for Peloton, up 4% today, guys.
Yeah.
Peloton, we do like that one. I want to get you to another bouncer here, guys. AMC was trying to move to the upside. It was up more than 4%, actually got up to 470 here at one point, but now starting to sell off just a little bit. Everyone's talking about reopen. What does that look like? AMC had been a bit of a runner the last few sessions. Looks like it might be selling, take some profit taking right now. 460 is a big level. If we retake that to the upside, maybe we'll grab a long, but you know me, I'm shorting in front of it first. So I'm going to grab some shorts in front of 460 on AMC if there's a retrace, and then I'm reversing to the long side, see if it can't take out those highs if that does happen, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Greg shouting out the nice call on CHGG there, so thanks for that. And I mean, that's why you guys watch. We're going over all the different names there, and that was Neil that talked about CHGG there. So, okay, Tesla fading back in here. We did have that order. TSLA, come on, Sean. TSLA here, we got to switch it up. If you see .NQ there, that's obviously a NASDAQ symbol, so that takes Neil and I time sometimes to switch over for these symbols. So, okay, Tesla now coming to the downside. It got super excited there off the open, bounced off that 800 pretty smoothly, now back down to that key 780 level. So we're going to wait to see here, 780, 781 on the downside here of Tesla. This has been a monster trade right here. Hertz right down to $3. This is a 30-cent winner, so that's 10% right there. On this trade already. We'll wait to see what happens on it breaks 3. And Neil, I am in on Beyond Meat right now. So
yeah, I'm gonna go to the moon. I just triggered Beyond Meat, that 101.56. I was saying in the pre 102.50 is also a level on that, but I just got out and we're all done here on CCL. Maybe not done for the day, certainly, but we just got shares out at 14.25. That was our target. 50 cents on that last little move there. So you saw us take it out in 3 legs here. First leg was at 14.50, 14.40, and then 14.25. Let's see what happens when it retests that higher low at 14.07. The story probably not done when it comes to the cruise space. Brennan, what do you got?
Good descriptive. XOM, guys, crude now 16% to the upside, rejecting here at 47 for XOM, though still up 4%. So energy names definitely strong on the morning, guys.
Yeah, this Beyond, I think one of the things when you take a breakout like this is just worth noting, look, you do have 110. I'm not saying it gets to that price, but on a longer time frame here, 110 is the ultimate target, but 102.50 to 103.50 is the next line of, I guess, resistance.
Yeah.
If we get through that price, that could be an interesting one, either to maybe add, you take off in front, look for pullbacks. We're looking for a trend trade here, I think, in Beyond Meat to the upside. That's what I'm looking to play all morning long.
Man, did I miss this. You take one day off and it feels like forever. But Beyond Meat, there it is. Hit the confetti, guys. 101.50, out 102, out 102.25 there. So back-to-back jacks there. We're going to wait. Same thing, Neil, above 102.50. Let's hit that siren and let's get going on that one. So nice little cheer. Okay, Hertz as well. This stock is in. We've only traded 3 stocks today. Hertz, Beyond Meat, and CCL. And yeah, we're trying not to get slaughtered here, but Hertz, nice little short off 338. Our average price right now, 336. So we got a nice little average price up here, and it's at 303. So yeah, we're taking some profit on Hertz here. I hope you guys are as well. It's bouncing off that $3 mark. We'll wait to see. Beyond Meat bouncing 102.50. We're at the day's high right now. We are still long 101.60. Follow me on Twitter, Neil, as well. We'll be posting some of these charts as we go, but big time moves happening today. And yeah, boom. Perfect so far, 3 for 3. Let's not ruin it.
Yeah, if you guys are watching that MVIS, it's trying to bounce off that level we talked about, 145 to 150. I'm looking for it to break this 55 mark here. Then we're going to grab the long another time. I did scalp it off in first time, but you do have to make sure you've held that level. Now that we have, let's look to engineer ourselves into a bit of a long trade on a break. So I'm looking for that break. I'm going to quickly go to the position board for you guys so you can see what we've got. There is, in addition to MVIS that we just added added in here. I am trading PTLA. I think that one has some juice. Of course, it's a cash deal. Beyond Meat, 101.56 long. I still have that L Brands trade to the short side. If it's going to break 12, I'll be out of it. Otherwise, we got 11.86 short on L Brands. Big retracement that happened in that right off the open that we wanted to take advantage of. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Another one from yesterday, Retractable Technologies, RVP on the NYSE Arc Exchange. Yeah, huge move up yesterday. We were mentioning it a couple times. Kind of failing here, 460 to 475. They did announce they have secured an $80 million contract in addition to the positive news yesterday. So a nice little pop up here at the open, but this one might be a fader, guys.
Which one was that one?
RVP.
RVP, okay, yeah, RVP. Not like Rob Van Dam, RVD, if anybody's shouting out to
I know that.
Wrestling there. This is on the Amex, I guess. Yeah, RVP there had a problem calling it up. $4.50. Come on, charts. Let's get going here on the Amex. Come on, charts. Come on, charts. Okay, 450. Yeah, nice little breakthrough. That 440. So we're going to watch this top here, 465. Thanks to that one, Brendan. Beyond Meat, we just did. Come on, charts. My charts are still maybe taking a day off here. Okay, Beyond Meat still up that 7%. I've gotten out of 60% up here. We're just waiting to take out this top. We'll see what that does, but out of 60% of Beyond Meat. The other trade we have on, guys, check the bottom. This is going to show you all the trades. Actually, you know what? I don't have it up because Arun, you reset my Internet Explorer here, so I got to call that back up. But Hertz right now to the downside, we still have about 20 or so percent of this position left. We're looking at $3 bouncing off there. I do like Hertz. What's up, Brendan?
X, guys, moving higher this morning. BMO and Citigroup upgrading X today. U.S. Steel here, 3+% for that one.
You're going to have to add US Steel to the board. I know some of you guys are watching it. L Brands, we took a shot at this one. It looks like it might want to take out that 12 even mark. That's the only short that I have on here. We have tested NVIS here. We're going to try and build this position in front of that 140. But there goes L Brands. So we will take a hit today, and it's going to be in L Brands. That's our first losing trade. I want to pull back in Beyond Meat. This is what it gives you here. I didn't take anything off. I certainly was looking for at least a move to that secondary 102.50 area. I think you can pull this one. It's not going to get to VWAP necessarily, but it doesn't have to for me to reload into this long guy. So I'm taking a second shot here if we can pick this one up Beyond Meat. 20-cent spread I just looked at. I don't want to cross that. Let's see if we can't catch something in the 60s.
Yeah, no man can cross it. So, okay, update here. I don't think anybody will know where that's from. So, okay, we'll put this board
Google
on. I found it, Arun. Here we go. So Beyond Meat, this is the long. We just took some off at 80 there. So we have very small left on that, 20%. Long Beyond Meat, short Hertz. That's 30% in the money. Let's go.
I think that NVIS looks like a trap. Certainly, it looked like it was going to try to make a breakthrough, but you don't necessarily want to catch that break on VWAP, and I should have been looking a little bit closer to see that. But we have 145 as our out. That's been the entire time. It did test through and held at 143, so showing a little bit of strength down there. Look, if it can't get going, that's going to be potential trouble for us, but I don't want my average price to be anything farther away from about a 152, so this is where I'm going to be adding here. You take a breakout, leave yourself some arrows in the quiver, as I like to say, or if you like a better analogy, who cares? Let's go with some more shares here at 52, maybe add some at 150, 151, but that 145 is a hard stop for me on NVIS. Usually I'm shorting these names, but the long setup was so good yesterday that I am taking a crack at it.
Let's check out, let's go back to our, okay, Beyond Meat, I see you, Beyond
Yeah,
Meat.
buddy.
So we still got some of that. Just to give you guys a quick update here. Oh, where's our stock logos? I like the Beyond Meat one. Let's find this one. We did have a great one. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he created a crazy Beyond Meat, Ivan, that's what it was, Ivan. Thanks for that, Rob. Yeah, Ivan was that guy. Shout out to Ivan if you're still around, bud. What's going on? Okay, Beyond Meat here. We're going to leave our last 20% just for a 101 break. This was kind of the top here, tops, bottoms, whatever. So there you go. So our last 20% will get a 59-cent hit. We're long at 101.59 plus slippage, maybe take a 70-cent hit. But we've already taken 70 cents, dollar winner up here. Well, not a dollar, 80-cent wins up here. So that's how you properly structure your trades, guys, to come through with that. But okay, Brendan, what's up?
A little energy company, guys. If you're watching the energy group, want a smaller priced one. This is Parsley PE in New York, up 8.5% after solid earnings for this one. Got rejected up here at 10.5, but 10 looking like a decent level for Parsley Energy, guys.
There you go. I like that line. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Simon and Garfunkel, great music, great out here. Like I got that reload in Beyond Meat. One of the reasons I'm going to take this out, some of it anyways, for that 50-cent scalp is I think if it wants to test VWAP, and I think it's going to be a trend, I want the ability to load some shares back in. So if I'm going to give myself that opportunity, let's see if we can't work in and out of a few. We do have 101, 50 to 60 is our entry points. If it can't bounce off 101, obviously it's going to be a trouble trade anyways. The market is maintaining this 2865 that Arun talked about. The NASDAQ as well is holding up pretty well, so I don't want to give up on the long trade. We also have NVIS, which is bouncing. We'll get to that in a little bit, but that 145 looks like it's holding for now.
Yeah, so I hope that Wayfair has what I need, Neil, because we are now short right now. Unfortunately, the spread is $1 or so, so we are short here, 171.60 on this little VWAP break. It's just that it's VWAP now. We weren't taking it because of VWAP. We were taking it, of course, because of that 171.50 level that we, or sorry, 172.50 level that we saw, but it looks like it's going to be coming in right now as Wayfair right now short, 171.62. I'm looking for it to get down to 165 or so down here. We'll see if that one can hold. Upside break, I don't know, 178 or so, but right now this stock is on my look. Right now 171.62 for Wayfair. Let's see if we can get down to 170 for sure, if not 169, guys.
And you guys know I like to cycle a little bit here, so as we get a bounce on NVIS, yeah, I'm going to take a few shares off it, maybe only 20% here at 61, and we got ourselves a price of 154.5. Right now. I did say that I wanted to get it down to 151, 152, and I had more bids down there. So just because I didn't get the full lot inside doesn't mean we can't stick to our plan. If it gets in front of that 170, I'll take a few more off. In front of the high day, I'll take a few more off. We are ultimately looking for that massive bounce play. Just got greedy and triggered out on Beyond Meat. I wanted this to be a trend trade more than anything else, and I feel like I gave it some room past VWAP there, but we just took the rest out when it broke 180. So the market wants to continue to go higher. The only thing I'm going to be in is this small cap right now, NVIS, which seems to be working to the upside. But again, if you play that trend, this is why you take profit on some of your shares in the upside. That way, if it comes back in, you're not looking at a total loss. Just make sure you lock in some of that profit.
Yeah, Beyond Meat, we locked it in. Good call there on Beyond Meat, and we're out as well, breaking through that. I got maybe a little greedy. We had about $1.50 or so on Wayfair and did not take it. Now it's moving back to the top side. Look at the futures, guys. The futures are running up here. So if I can get some help, please, good old Future King, then maybe Wayfair will also fall down. Like I said, 170.30 put us in the money, about $1.50 on that one. But this one has just a huge range. So we'll wait to see on Wayfair. 176 or so will be our out on that one. Hopefully we can fall back down to the downside before we get taken out of this one. Hertz still nicely in the money. Hertz and Wayfair all we have, because we did get stopped out on the remainder of Beyond Meat, although still a positive trade, so fingers crossed on this day. What's up, Valeria?
Hello dear viewers, and welcome everyone who just joined our live show. Guys, we are trading live every day. Subscribe to our channel to receive notifications when we are back on air. Also, our Day Trade the World traders, Adam and Kevin, are doing a great job on the chat helping you with the questions. And I won't be helpful as well. Every day, I pick up one question from the chat and ask it directly to Sean, Neil, or Brandon. So guys, keep your questions coming. And of course, support our channel. More than 1,300 viewers right now. Please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. We are preparing a lot of great stuff for you. Back to traders, I see you later.
Yeah, that just gets me excited. Thank you guys for all of your support. Certainly, that's what we're all about here. We just want to make this show great for you. And one of the guys that does that is Brendan. What do you got for us, buddy?
Just seeing Chewy going a little bit here this morning, guys. Broke 40 there on a decent volume spike, back up to 40 and a half. Big move down yesterday throughout the entire day. So we'll see what happens. 41 was a bit of a level from yesterday morning to watch on Chewy, guys, up 3%.
Yeah, I was just noting in the chat there, back to Greensville is Carnival Cruise. It just tries to make a move up to VWAP here. Double bottom it just put in, pre-market low, but also a low since the open at $13.95. You're seeing the nice bounce in through VWAP. The key level is going to be this $14.60. If it can't get through that price, I think it's going to continue to be a rollover short opportunity. So I'm watching Carnival for another short chance here. The futures are starting to go, but just remember, this space had news this morning that caused the move to the downside. So if we roll, I'm looking for another short here. Got to fail at 14.60, not necessarily right here precisely at VWAP.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, that's the point is that when stocks have news in the space, you got to go over there because the volume's huge. 20 million shares for CCL.
Yeah,
wow. Good little retracement there, Neil. I like 14. I mean, I like the same levels you do, so we don't have to keep talking about it. But 1450. I know Neil talked about 1460 getting a little higher. I'd probably take a little bit of a long if it gets back into the high 1440s or so on that one. Wayfair does touch down again, right down to that same level. So I'm going to wait at 170.50 to get out of some of this one if I can. Otherwise, we still have the Wayfair position you guys can see, and then we have Hertz as well. So I only have 2 spots on right now, guys. I have 55 trades, but only 2 spot on right now. We're going to look at Microsoft when we get back from Brendan.
Guys, just watching that TGTX, if you are also watching it to the downside, just saw a little bit of a buyer stepped up there at around 1475, 1480, kind of looking like support at this point. So just be careful with this one, thinly traded, but great move down off the open there from that 16 level we were talking about, guys.
Yeah, I was actually, Brendan, just looking at that same double bottom, and it's only 1 wick, but if it can get back above, like, let's call it about 1530 or so, that looks like a potential breakout opportunity, I think, on this name. So you're going to count me involved here if we get a 1530-ish break. I did like the short, but you missed it this chance. So if it wipes out some of those shorts, I think 1530 into VWAP could give you an opportunity. Just watch out. For $15 stock, I'm watching a spread here. Factor that in, 5-10 cents worth of spread. So as long as you understand that when you're risk managing, I think you'll be okay trading TGTX.
TGTX, yeah, good one. Okay, here comes Wayfair, guys. Right back down to the downside. So we are 70 cents in the money now, but we're going to wait, obviously, on this one. Coming down, we're waiting at 170.50, and bang, there it is, a quick little dollar. Now we're excited because here we go. We finally break down and see ya, Wayfair. We're waiting at 166. Big trade here again, guys. Wayfair, $4 in the money and continues to go down. We finally break that 170. Now we wait for down here, 166 and change. Let's see, hopefully again, I'm not going to steal Neil's thing. We'll just hit the capture. I was going to say gift horse in the mouth, but this one's not really a gift horse. We had to wait for this one. This is not as easy as I thought it would be. We had to hold this one about $2 against us. So now we're plus $2, almost $3 in the money. It does go almost a smooth $4 there, down to 168, 167.50. I'm waiting around here, guys. My bid exactly 166.25. So let's see if Wayfair can't fade back down through. That would be nice. But right now, a nice little win. We're out of a third of our position right now. Mr. Wickens.
ADVM, guys, if you're wondering, up 30% here. A couple of upgrades on this name, little therapeutics company, ADVM, 30%, yeah. Right at 18. Watch out for that one. SunTrust Robinson, and there's one other one I can't think of right now, but 2 upgrades on this one today.
Yeah, I talked about 38.50 on Pfizer. Big time flush right off of the open. A little bit of a sell, but it bounces off this pre-market level at 38.20. Now back above VWAP in that 38.50 level. So for me, it's going to be our first dip into Pfizer today. I did mention I'd like that level, so we're going to test it out. You got to give this one to that low. So if we break out that 38.26 low, 25 I'll give it to. We'll be out of this. I think it's worth a starter position here. See if we can't get back to that high at 39. You don't necessarily get the same volatility in the Pfizer, but there's certainly an opportunity to trade it if we get any kind of a trend to the upside, up 2.5%. We talked about that deal they have, potentially, of course, with a vaccine. Let's see if we can't get some juice to the upside on Pfizer.
Yeah, I see Roku coming back up. Just to let you guys know, I did switch my order here to 168.25. We will go ahead and take $4, hopefully, if it does come back down into 168 territory here on Wayfair. So we're looking at that. I may drop some if it comes back to VWAP and then just hold the last third for a lottery ticket. But if we can get out, here it comes. Come on, Wayfair. So right now, $3 in the money, 170, 160, 280 in the money. We'll see what this goes. Right now, 30 cents spread. Wayfair and Hertz, the only 2 bangers for me right now. I said I'd look at Microsoft, so let's do that before. Actually, let's go to Brendan and then we'll come back.
Name reporting earnings on Wednesday. Guys, Etsy up 10% here today. Went from $69 to almost $75. Bit of a pullback here, but yeah, Etsy reporting on Wednesday. And this, guys, is all-time highs for this name.
Wow.
Yeah, Etsy, add that to the list. You just got a lot of bangers here. But Kevin sort of noting a bit of a bounce here in Tesla off of the bottom, 775, looking to make a run. 787 was sort of a big level. It has been in the past. It had a couple of bounces off that today. I think with a strong market here, that's the key turn pivot point you're going to look at. Just watch out. I think if it breaks it, it also has to travel through that 90 market VWAP. So if you're a shorter of Tesla, you're going to be in front of that. I would wait for it to go a couple dollars here. Otherwise, if it gets back above an and holds that 87 to 90. Tesla, with the strong market, can make a retest of 800. We'd like to see that happen. That would be very, very interesting to me. But MVIS is the long that we have on in addition to Pfizer, which we've talked about. For those of you that missed out, certainly MVIS was a good position in front of that 140 mark. We added some at $1.50. I just took some more shares out there as we're trying to punch through the high of day. We just got some out at 68. So we'll get that 10% return. We now have about 40% of our position left, and we're looking for a run to the high. I'll take out another little bit in front of 178, which is the top, and I'll try to get that breakout through 180 if it wants to continue to be a runner. MVIS, you look at the daily chart, this is what's happened in the last few sessions. It was a massive, massive breakout through that 70 to 80 cent mark. The next level was that 145. We're through that. Let's see how far it can go. We got a support level we're working off of, so we're only risking about 5 to 10 cents at worst if the worst happens, which I don't think it is at this point.
Okay, Beyond Meat there, looking, with people talking about that 99 level. Yeah, that's a great level. Guys, this is why you drop the long. I mean, we go long and hammer it and hit a slap shot early on Beyond Meat, but then it falls all the way back down, and this is why you got to have some outs. Should have actually reversed short here. This is a little pre-market level, 101. I mean, sometimes it doesn't get any easier than that, right? 101, wow. Okay, 101 there, and then it drops all the way down to 99, and then a straight bounce off 99. So, looking pretty good. CCL just takes off 1445. We did talk about going long if that did happen. So your boy right now, 1447 long. I know Neil's kill spot here is 1460. I would love for it to get back up there, and then I'll get out. So we're long at 1447. We've already destroyed CCL today. This one, we don't want to fall on our head going long. We've been only short. We now go long. VWAP's down here. I think you can probably give it to about 1434 or so. So if we do wind up losing on this one, it'll probably be about a 10 center. Goes all the way to 1450 and regroups all the way back down. So CCL right now, one to talk about. We did drop our Wayfair, the other third, for flat. So now we're holding a third of Wayfair, and now we'll cancel everything and just wait to see how far back this stock pulls, if anything, downside.
Here comes MVIS. This is the run that we're looking for, guys. We're right into that 172 range. I just got some more shares out there. 20 penny winner on this, so over that 10% mark. It just needs to punch through the high. We want to see if we can't grab some on a break through the high of the day. And of course, I will be holding some of my shares as well. So that's been the structure the entire way. There was a shot here, and I'm going to be honest with you, when it pulled back into VWAP, you could have had 160s to add to your position. I didn't do that. We're going to try and add on a break of the high here, but a big banger at MVIS. We kind of told you guys all about that support that it was bouncing off of. A strong, strong name here trying to take the top. But for now, happening now with Brennan as we get more in.
Hey guys, we're just watching some numbers coming in here. ISM non-manufacturing index, 41.8 versus 40 estimate, so a little bit higher than expected there on that ISM manufacturing number. Watch the futures here, might get a little bit of a spike. S&P 500, nicely positive here for North American markets, right across the board, 1.6% there for the S&P. The Dow about 1.5%. We have tech stocks leading again today, 1.8% to the upside for the NASDAQ. Small cap Russells here, 2.2%. A lot of those starting to kind of fade back in a little bit though. TSX here in Toronto, 1.2%. We have some of the banks higher today. Energy companies obviously leading the way to the upside, with oil also significantly higher. Down in Brazil, the BOVESPA about 2% to the upside. So a nice long day right across the board here for North America. Here's Cenovus Energy, 6% to the upside. Crude up another 16% today, holding $5 here at the bottom end for CVE. Nice look on that one. If you like lower price names with lots of liquidity, have a look at CVE. Suncor here, not as much. Did get a huge gap to the upside, but coming back in here, trying to bounce off 24.5 right now. It's still up about 3.5% for Suncor. The bank's really strong. Look at BMO here, about to make day highs. Up 2% for Bank of Montreal. What is that? $70 once again, guys, for Bank of Montreal. North America looking pretty good so far. Higher across the board. Back over to you.
Yeah, nice look there. Just to update CCL, we did talk about that 60 levels, very key. Neil's brought that to your attention. So we go long 47, and we take out a quick little scalp there, out 53, still holding some for 55, 50s. I should have took them all out there. This 60 is a big level here, I think. So we've pegged that one, so that's a good one. Our Wayfair back down $1.50 or so, back into the money on Wayfair. We're short 170, 160. I have this MVIS. Finally, Neil's obviously way better on this one, but I'm right here at 181, so we're going to wait to see if that goes.
You know what, though, Sean? It's been two trades the whole way. The long was good in a breakout, and I added on that breakout just at 180 as well, so I still think it's got some juice. I just missed my entry point in CCL, so I should flush myself on the throat or get rejected here. I was looking for the rollover first at 1460 and then try to catch it on the way down. I did miss it as I was trying to cross in at 45s there, 46 actually, and it just moved to the downside. So, again, this is sort of the risk if you try to catch it on the way down instead of on the way up. I don't get that trade, and it would have given you a quick sort of 10-cent win, and then you're working the rest off of that 1460 area. So now if it holds the range, it will have held above VWAP, which is not necessarily a good sign for the short. You wanted to grab it, watch it flush initially. So I'm going to be not shorting this one again. We did miss our shot there in Carnival Cruise Lines, but MVIS still looking okay. I need to find a place maybe to add some more shares if it is going to give you a pullback. I don't think this story is necessarily done. It just tried to get to 173. That was level off the open. Maybe that's a base of operations.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Matt, I see you there. You're in that 180 as well. Look, it's missed. I mean, we missed it, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. So you're waiting for that secondary push now. I mean, the calls were down here. I mean, not like when Neil was talking about it. Those are the calls. You just take this one kind of on a flyer here to hope that something can happen. That's why you got to go in small. When you miss it the first time, guys, you don't hammer time a breakout that's clearly missed. Like 175 was a break. Neil's already talked about it. 165. And so on and so forth. So this is a very, very light position. So do not take this one as a big position. For me, it might be for Neil. He has a much better early entry on this stock. And I know we all took that breakout. So we'll wait for MVIS on this one coming through. Hertz right now, just to give you guys an update. I'm almost flat on this one. 2 thumbs, big trade on Hertz. You can see the bottom there, what we've done. Short here off this horrible wick on the open there. That's a bad trigger, but that's why we got out instantly. Averaged in, we did believe in that, and now we get rewarded to the downside. So that's a nice little trade. There goes MVIS. So we finally have a loser there today, but we're not even sad about it. We'll just fall in a hole. We took that shot. I will take it again, guys. 182. I will take this again. No problems there. CCL back upside where we got out last time. Might be a decent spot. CCL, it's only a small winner, but we'll hit the air horn. It's now 7 cents in the money. We'll see if this one can get up to that 1460 level that we're looking at. I know that's Neil's kill spot as well.
Sean, speaking of CCL, it's worth mentioning Norwegian here is trying to make a bit of a bottom itself, but it's still very, very weak. It's still riding on these lows here. 12.16 is the low of the day, but it's made a bit of a bounce. It's trying to push through. I think if it can get, sort of up through 12.50, there could be some juice here, and I think that might actually push the upside on Carnival just a little bit. So if you're trading that name, make sure you're watching what's happening in Norwegian. Down 13%, but 12.50 has a bit of a wall. I'm going to scalp long through this one. I think you can give it to the higher low that it just put in a few minutes ago. I kind of like that play a little bit, but also if you're watching Carnival, you have to be able to watch this name. But I'm not going long unless it breaks that 12.50 seller.
Yep, Carnival. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing about Carnival. We're just getting out right there. So there it is, a nice little 12-cent winner there on Carnival. We're waiting for that 1460. It's right here. So good look on that one, anyone that has this. You're following us or not. There, Neil and I going back and forth here on Carnival. Wayfair now, guys, back down. This is now a $2 winner. So we hit the switch now. If you have this, you can take it off. I'm going to wait to hit the bigger one. We'll see if we can hit a home run here on Wayfair. We've already done nicely on this one. Coming right back down into the money now. Wayfair, it's got what we need apparently, but not enough. We're waiting for this. 162 is where I'm hoping to get out of this one. Maybe we'll use this top here. Let's put an order 164 and see if we get it flush. I know that's a big move down from here, but Wayfair could do it. If not, you do have VWAP up here. It's bounced around a little bit. Let's see if Wayfair can't give us that home run that we're looking for right now, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot here. Trying to level off is that MVIS at $1.70. Now, look, you can take it all the way to VWAP where we were initially getting out of shares at 160. I do do like to take another crack at the top here. It's held up relatively strongly. Usually, if you get a pre-market high break or a high of day break off the open on one of these names and it flushes back in, you will see a very, very sharp retracement, maybe all the way back to that 160. Because that hasn't happened, I'm going to catch some on this little bounce here, see if we can't retest 180 and catch that home run. Brennan, what do you got?
Skyworks, guys, another earnings play here. Semi Group this time. SWKS up 8.8%. Earnings were obviously good. Just broke 108 there on a huge volume spike. So a nice look for SWKS today, guys.
Skyworks, yeah, that's something that we don't trade often enough. Wayfair still bouncing around CCL, and we still have that Hertz trade. I'm still waiting for it to break through $3. I think that could happen here. 17 plus million shares. If it's your first time watching us, we do have live level 2 quotes here, so you can see some size here at $3. It's not too much, about 130,000 on ARCA, add up New York, NASDAQ, about 200,000 shares or so on the level 2 here of Hertz. So we'll look at that one. And I know another name people are looking at here is Tesla. I was not able to get in at that 800. That would have been a great fade spot. Neil talked about 787, and did you short that, Neil? Because that was a great look, 787, wow.
It never really got to, I kind of mentioned the range of 87 to 90, thinking it would get into the middle, but it never actually touched the middle. It literally turned around at 788. So, I like the middle end when I had a $3 target. I tried to get that 150. I think one of the better ways to do that would be take a little bit at the start end of the range and then a little bit at the back end of the range, just to make sure you get a piece of the pie when it gets into that target. So I think that's an adjustment we can make the next time we try to make that play. Brendan just noting here, I'm going to call it Chug. Chug. This stock just is unbelievable, and it's up 30% now, and I was looking for some fade opportunities on this. I don't even know if that's going to happen. It's just a crazy, crazy move. But look, we do have some consolidation at the top. My initial play was going to be looking for a retracement. If it takes out 56, I'm jumping into the sell side on CHGG, but it's right here in about a 50-cent range of the high of day. 56 is going to be my kill zone. Trying to short this one, up 29%. Wow, Brendan, what do you got?
Decent move on Overstock here, guys. Almost 11% on the day. Just made new highs as well. Decent volume behind this. Was strong yesterday. You can see a nice trending move to the upside yesterday. Broke that top from yesterday in the pre-market. This one reported back on Friday morning, I believe it was. Earnings were better than expected, so Overstock still moving higher, guys.
190.
Yeah, just I know some of you were talking about Pfizer there. It's been a sort of a sleepier trade for me. It's I've worked my price to VWAP here, and this is one of those things. You get this bounce off 38.25-ish, which is my stop area. You get the top end of the range here at 60, and then we sort of, I could have built it at VWAP, but I wanted to take some shares to make sure I got in. Then took more down here at 37 to give us the average price that we did want, which was going to be 50. So lots of ways that you can sort of skin that cat. I chose to take a couple of entries around VWAP. If it breaks 38.70, I'll start getting out in front of the high of day here on Pfizer. I want to see if we can't run to that 39. The market is strong. We're up almost 2%. We're trying to hold these gains in both the NASDAQ and the ES. So Pfizer, of course, with positive news. We'll see if we can't make this a bit of a runner here. We'll take some out if it gets to about 75.80 and then hang on to the rest.
Oh crap, my keyboard just fell apart here. What the heck? Okay, I was looking at Alibaba here. I do like this 196.50 level. It is where VWAP is. That is sort of the reason, but also you get a little bunch up here. And the top of this is 196.60. So I think if we can retest on BABA here, 196.50 as a break, we do want to go long on Alibaba. So 196.50 for a long here on Alibaba. I do like that one. Beyond Meat just does now break down below that 99 level that we talked about. So Beyond Meat's still up. Was that an upgrade today? Because it was up 3.5%. I know we talked about that on the show, and we did hit the long, Neil and I, but you do have this bottom wick here, 97.95. Maybe some more work needs to be done on that level. We'll look at that, but 97.95, the low here.
Speaking of longs, I did reload. I talked about that one down at that 169 mark. That's actually going to be was my average price initially. You're going to see it actually tick up there as I get out the last of my shares from $1.50. We did take some out in front of that 180 mark again. If MVIS does fail to make a secondary push through the high of the day, I just want to make sure I'm capturing these little gains here. So another 10% win just to ensure that we're maintaining profitability on this long trend. I still have some shares that we're looking for that secondary move and maybe a run to $2. That's been sort of the idea. I don't want to get too far away from that one. But one of my best stocks today, actually, my best stock today is going to be MVIS and CCL. Let's see if it can't get even better and make a second run through that 180. I'm not going to add if it goes. We already took some shares on the initial break. Right now, though, we need to get to Brendan for upgrades and downgrades.
Hey guys, once again today, some interesting moves on this board, mostly on the upgraded side. Chegg up here, the big one today, almost 30% now. It's a little bit higher than that. Here's Harley Davidson as well, having a nice day, 7%. They reported last week. L Brands, they wait for the deal to fall apart and then they upgrade the stock, right? 2.8%, 2U, 9%. To the downside, pretty muted moves over here. Tyson reported yesterday, so they're actually higher, 3.5%, even with a downgrade. Wells Fargo, not really doing anything. I mean, it gapped up, kind of coming in. I'll show you that in a second. Yeah, this is the big one. Look at the move after market yesterday from 43 all the way up to $50. We held that in the pre-market. I think that was a little bit of a telltale sign. Holding $50 as support in the pre-market. We're now at $57 for that CHGG. Here's Wells Fargo. Just went negative, but gapped up this morning. Rejected up there at $27.75, back to basically where it closed on the day yesterday. That's a look at upgrades and downgrades. Back over to you.
Telling you, that CHGG is completely insane. I'm still going to stick with shorting through 56 if it breaks, but it's making a run at fresh highs, 30%, $57. So at some point, I think it's going to come in. It can't go up. Well, I mean, it could go up forever. I think that's rather unlikely. But I'm looking at that retracement. We'll stick to our plan. If it goes another $1 or $2, I'll probably have to reassess that price, look to see where consolidation is. But for now, we're going to stick with that 56 short. MVIS did bounce off that 180 mark, so we still have some of our long position. It never gave you that break. Pfizer is holding pretty steady right now. That 38.50 long we have is trying to hold above VWAP. As long as it does that, I think we're in the right direction here. But the future is rolling over just a bit, so we are going to have to watch this. We did want to see us continue to make fresh highs. It's a nice upward trend, and I'll show you what we're talking about here. When we look at the NQ, it just did turn around, but we are still looking at further gains after gapping up overnight. So strong movement in the overall market. Pfizer long, MVIS long for me.
Yeah, right now we just have Hertz and Wayfair short, so we don't have anything else. But I am looking at Gilead. A lot of you guys talked about GILD, and of course, Remdesivir is here to save the day, apparently, or not. But we're going to wait to see here, 79 and change. What do they like on this stock? If we break down below... Come on, chart. If they break down below 79.25, it looked like there. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. We bounced, 79.25. We bounced off there a couple times. That should be good for a short. You can wait maybe 79.20, but get a little aggressive. 79.25. We'll probably take that short and then maybe hit it again if we break below 79.05. But I do like Gilead short. The only thing about this name, and we talk about this all the time on the show, is just the headline risk. There's big headlines obviously coming through on Gilead every day. So you do got to watch for that. But 79.25 on the downside looks to be a little bit of a profitable opportunity for us. So 79.25, that's where I'm going to short it. And then if it gets going again, we'll short 79.05, 79s, and then we'll wait to see what happens at 78.60. If it gets there. It's easy because you have this out up here, 79.60. So well-structured trade. I don't know, Neil. I might just take out this Wayfair, man. It's chart. I think Arun jinxed this spot yesterday. Because my chart's not working today. But
I'll take it for a second here because the Carnival's trying to bounce another time. And look, I came into today thinking there was some long plays to be had. Then Norwegian basically blew all of that up with that news. But we just bounced off of 14.25 again, and that was my initial out point on our short. We're trying to bounce there one more time. If we get any kind of an upward movement, and Norwegian I can see over here is holding the high, at least for the time being. Sorry, holding the low. This could be an opportunity for me to take CCL for the first time long in front of this 14.20. I don't think I'd give it anything more than that. It's a very tight stop trade, and then maybe work it to that 14.60 mark that we're looking at earlier. So back to my roots, or at least what I thought was going to happen in Carnival at about 8:30 this morning, which got blown up. But this is going to be a tight stop trade. I'm not going to give this one too much here in front of that 14.25.
No, I think that's, Carnival has been a good one for us today for sure. Yeah, what I was talking about on Wayfair was just like, it keeps bouncing, man. So I'm going to go short again if we break 168.02. So I think I'll put in order here, 169.50 or so, see if we can't get out for $2 winner, and then take it again. I'm not going to wait. I've just waited too many times here for this 168 to break, like once. I mean, I'll blow this chart up for you guys a bit. Once, twice, so on and so forth. So it's just, it's getting a little impatient for me right now. 169.30, 169.50. If we could take that off there, we will. And then we'll hit it short again, and we'll give up that $1.50. That's just what we have to do, I think, right now. Give up the $1.50. I mean, we're in the money $2, but take the $2 and then once again hit it short if it breaks 168 to the downside. Maybe that's what will get momentum going. I just don't want to see it bounce around, because the problem is, man, it's going to tick up here. I'm going to get wicked out, and then that's going to be the end of the story. So I'm going to wait for 168 to break. I'm going to try to get out right now on Wayfair, guys.
Yeah, you know, someone just, Tom there, clarify here, just asked you, are you long here on Roku at 123? Because if that's the case, look, it's obviously a good in. I certainly would have been taking some profitability if I could. If it just rolled over trying to get back to the pre-market lows, but when you talk about a move to $5, if you peg the bottom on a move like that, you really got to be thinking about where you're going to take some profits off. And if you haven't done that yet, your stop's probably a break even. If you're talking about should you short it through that low, if it takes out this bottom, it's more likely it's going to put in a double bottom in a strong market. But if it does take it out, it could be worth a short opportunity. That wouldn't be my style. If I was shorting, it would have been on this move back down through VWAP. We have a better structured trade using 120.60 out. If you short the bottom at 123 when it tries to take out that low, where's your stop? All the way back to VWAP 125? That means you think it's going down to 120 even. That wouldn't be my play personally on Roku.
Neil and I cashing in today, and we just do it again on Wayfair. So there's the $2. So we'll floss that one off, and then we'll be patient now. And yeah, we will wait. We got out there 169.76. We had to close the spread here. There we go. So you could take it you could get the same price I do right now. Here's 168. Damn you, Wayfair. Now it happens. It just drops down there almost $1 right now. You do it right when I get out. But if you're still in it, guys, you can get out. We're waiting for that 168 to break. I may get in this one very, very soon. Oh, come on, Wayfair. There it is. It now breaks. We are now short 167.70. Let's see what happens. Okay, Wayfair, you win. Haha, or do I? Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another one moving to the downside here. Shake Shack, guys. A little bit of consolidation under 52. If you go back to yesterday, 52 was definitely a shelf over here as far as resistance goes. So if we can start to hold underneath that 52, maybe get lower prices on Shake Shack as well, guys.
Okay,
similar setup here in Etsy as you see in Chug, just topping out here in the 75 range. This one really needs to take out, I think, 74. I call it 74.25 to 74 even area for a bit of a retracement. I'm going to be doing this in Chug. I already mentioned to you, we have our stop order. I think Etsy, you can probably add that to the list as NCLH, Norwegian, is headed back down towards those lows, so watch out. But I do believe we have Valeria. What do you got?
Hey guys, welcome everyone who just joined us. Say hi on the chat, don't be shy, we are here for you. And of course, subscribe to our channel, we are trading every day live. Also guys, I know that a lot of us are still following stay-at-home restrictions, and some of you are writing on the chat that you can't wait when you can come back to the trading floor and do what you love the most, day trading. Well guys, thank God internet is open and you have us. Support and hit the thumbs up. Share the link with your friends and subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our brand new educational channel called Market Wisdom by Trader TV Live, and check out our first educational video about what VWAP is. Subscribe, we'll be posting educational videos constantly. Back to traders, and I see you later.
Yeah, and we have Wayfair there. So I see that you guys talking about there, it's driving me crazy. Look, I mean, part of this is a little bit of a facade because we're trying to entertain as well, but 167 and change, it is driving me crazy because if you do look here on Wayfair, and I'm going to try to zoom in as much as I can, we were waiting, we have this short here, we take that clean $2, $1.50 or so, then we get out for flat, and then we see it bounce around here a bunch of times, so we get out, and as soon as we get out for $2 winner, bang, it crashes down, and then we miss it. But there's the short that we talk about. So now we're back short 167.73, and oh yeah, that's $1 in the money as well right now. So we'll floss that one off. All we've done here is we gave up this little spot. So we gave up from basically here to here. We could have had that profit, but when you take the short again and then get out, we make it back. So right now we're basically still rolling that short now on Wayfair. So yeah, pigs get slaughtered Goddard. We take the money and run on Wayfair. My number one stock today, $170. We're now short 167.70. You can see on the bid is 166.70. If we bring it down though, my bid right now, guys, 163.70. So I'm waiting for right down here. If we can get to this little level down here where we kind of bunched up before, we'll see if we can't take a winner out. 167.70. I'll probably only hold this one back, just not too far actually, probably right where we got out, 169 and change. It's not setting up great, but with the futures crashing down here, maybe we can get Wayfair for the win again. We'll see.
And Matt, you're absolutely right. There was a massive million share buyer on MVIS that just got taken out. So my reload is going to be gone. Of course, we've had a fantastic session so far on MVIS. It's going to be still our number 2 stock because CCL was so good, but it could still make a run at the high of day, but that was a bit of a failed move. And that's why you take some profit out in front of 180 like I was mentioning to you guys. If it does get back into that 145 to 150 range, I still think there's an opportunity to go long on it, but let's see it fall back down to there, maybe a few pennies in front before we get too frisky on any kind of a long trade. So be very patient with MBIS now. It's really failed through that high of day and starting to come in and appear to be a short. And speaking of this small cap, let's go to Brendan for our small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, lots of opportunities to talk about this morning as far as small cap world is concerned. I'll give you my look on MVIS coming up here in a second. First off, we mentioned this one right before the open. TGTX still up 25%. 16, the bottom level, 16.25, 16.30 up here on this top wick from the pre-market. Gave you a really nice flush off of the open. I completely missed that, so faded this move back into this 16.25. Wish I got more up in this little box up here for this move down, but a great opportunity there to catch that above 15.25 to 15.50. This thing got as low as 14.5, so a dollar move to the downside there. Not really doing much right now, but this big wick, I just wanted to point this out, was right at the bottom there, so a big buyer stepped up and lifted this thing higher, so that was enough for me to get out of the way. The next one, APDN, huge mover yesterday to the upside. Always good to look at these if you're looking on the short side on day 2. Gave you a nice little level here from yesterday afternoon, 9.55. We kind of got a spike up to that level in the pre-market there. It gave you an opportunity to fade it. I put my stop obviously way too tight for half at that point, but managed to get some more out at the bottom there. Really hasn't done much, but pretty stress-free kind of trade. If you're looking for them, check these things out on day 2. Yeah, here we go. MVIS. Go out to the daily chart. 180 is a huge level on the daily chart all the way back to the middle of last year. So lots of congestion around this 180. That's where this black line has been drawn. So my plan all morning long was to fade this thing into 180 if it got there, and sure enough, we are breaking back to the downside for MVIS. Again, kind of day 2 mentality on that one as well. Guys, back over to you.
Going to see if we're going to get a few further low here. I tried to catch the 12 even break. I was sort of hollering at you guys about NCLH Norwegian breaking 12 even. Couldn't get it. SSR short sell restricted, so you couldn't hit that bid. I did try to catch it in the 95 to 97 range, but I'm going to try this little dip here and see if we can't work something in front of 12 even. It'll be like my third trade in this name. CCL was a better play, just a little bit more liquidity for me here, but I got 79s. I'll add to it and maybe in the 80s and give it to 12 even. That'll be my one shot. If it's bottomed out at that point, I think maybe you're looking for a retracement, but if it bounces, I think the better play would be finding some longs in Carnival as opposed to dipping into NCLH, but we will see. We do have short here now at 11.79. It's in the money a little bit, but still continue to make fresh lows. 19% we're down. There's not a heck of a lot in the way of key levels down here, but it is worth noting there is a support about a buck lower if it does happen to get down to a 10.75 and you guys are short.
Yeah, okay there. Yeah, good look there. I was actually, good thing you called that up. I was actually looking at CCL right now, and I didn't realize we're all the way back to bottoms again. So yeah, that long didn't work. We cashed out and then dumped the rest at 29. So right now CCL actually, depending on this Wayfair, CCL is still my number 1 stock on the day. And I'm going to go short again, guys. Breaking, I mean, this is a no-brainer. We love to do these stocks when they break the day's low. But we are down here. It's not a bad long to protect the low, but I'm going to wait to see if it cracks down. We're only down 3%. CCL, we're going to wait for this breaking through 1390. You'll probably see me get short right away. There we are.
Wow.
So now we are short. Yeah, they didn't even look at 1390 there, Neil. It just cracked it. So we're short now. CCL 1388. Let's see how far down we can go.
Yeah, it's arrows down. I'll show you why, because it just took out a fresh low here on Norwegian. That's why you're continuing to see that flush. I might just start working this trade like in, out, in, out. 1350 has a bit of a buyer. Every few levels, you are seeing some buying step in. 1150, check that. I'm saying 13 because I keep thinking a different stock here. But 1150 did have a buyer and that might have just pulled. No, it's still there. So I might see if we can't get out in front and then try to re-enter this trade and see if we can't just start scalping quarters on NCLH on the way down just to limit our exposure here, not hanging on to trades too long. But I'll see if we can't catch this little break here at 1150. And wow, look, we actually just got shares at 1150. Couldn't catch it at 12, so we're out and then back in just in case it had bounced. It hasn't done it yet. Norwegian still continuing to get crushed, guys.
Yeah, and look at this trade, guys. Kaboom! It's a cowbell time again on CCL. I take that back, Arun. You are extreme good luck right now. CCL to the downside. 1388 short. We just took some out at 71. As you guys can see, it's a lot of outs here. We took a lot of shares, so we just sit on the bid. We get rebates all the way out. Bang, 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 all the way down. Our best out there, actually 72, it looks like. We missed our 71s. Now you come all the way back to the top side here. This is why you get out. Gilead, on the other hand, banger as well, guys. Hit the confetti for this one as well. Gilead breaking back above 79.50. We have that one now. This is a 20 penny winner for Gilead, so we have this one on board as well. Everything seems to be turned up right now. We'll see.
I mean, the market's coming in a little bit, but I'm going to go arrows up for Pfizer, which we pegged for relative strength. That's what you're going to see here as it tries to test that 38.70 mark. Again, I take a third out in front of it. I also mentioned I'll be taking a third out when it gets to that 80, and then we're trying to make a run at 39 even. So we pegged the relative strength in Pfizer. It's the one that we did like almost as long as it found a bit of a base. We talked about that. Now the breakthrough VWAP. So Pfizer to the long side. NCLH Norwegian, our re-entry price was 1150. It tried to make another leg down here and just sort of stalled out at 1142. It hasn't been able to make any kind of a base to get to the upside, but I'm going to see if we can't continue to scalp this one. I mean, the next level up would be like 1170 to take this one out. So I think you take one more shot because it is short sell restricted. Shorting on pops is one way to go if you want to. I just wouldn't let it go too far against you on any of these because there's so much room for it to fill in. You don't want to get caught offside short at the bottom. So 1170 is going to be that kill zone. Otherwise, we're riding the trend.
Brendan, what up, bud?
Daily dose of crazy penny stocks. TTNP, today's candidate here. 28 cents just got broken there on huge volume. Going to check the news on this, but TTNP, little tiny penny stock going crazy, guys.
TTNP. Okay, going to add that one to the list very, very quickly, but I am going to stop out on NCLH if it goes through that 1170. I don't want to throw away profits that we have in the name, and Pfizer is moving to the upside. Those are the positions that we have on. I am going to jump to Mallinckrodt. That was a name that was on our list we haven't really paid too much attention to, but it's looking like it might make a move. It just broke VWAP in $3. It's down 10%. Could be a nice breakout through 295 here. So if we take out 295 on MNK, I'm going to be jumping into that short trade as well. Like I said, it's almost down that 10%, so you do have to watch out for short sell restrictions, which can make it tricky to get into these trades when they break down.
Like Beyond Meat, yeah, short sell restricted. I mean, that's the other thing, guys. Check with your broker to make sure you do have shortable shares. What the hell's happening? Brennan, I know we talked about Beyond Meat, but can you just double check? Was it an upgrade today for this one? Beyond Meat right now, 97.50 bouncing. I think I want to take this short right here. It's been bounced off a couple times. We have a gap to fill, so 97.50 the short side on Beyond Meat. Let's just call up our position board right here for you guys quickly. We'll start it up here. This is what we have on right now. So we have CCL to the short side. That's an 11 penny winner. We have GILD to the long side. That's a 10 penny winner. We've already taken off 20% of that one. And Wayfair, it's got what we need, $1.50 in the money. Let's wait to see if that one can go. Wayfair, one of my top stocks today anyways, but we're going to wait on that one. As Beyond Meat here bounces off that 97.50, we're going to wait to see, but 97.38 or so, I guess, down here is the bottom. It just did break through 97.50. So what's up, Brendan?
There's actually nothing on Beyond today, Sean. We had Jeffries yesterday raising their price target on Beyond Meat, and earnings, I believe it's aftermarket tonight, so they're buying it into earnings, it would appear.
But that chug stock, I believe there is something on it, and it's up 30%. I've been waiting for this little pullback. I did want 56, and I said if it made another leg upside, we would revisit that trade. I think what we can do now is confidently say that it's tried to make a move through 57.50. It turned around. If it holds this lower high, this is my shot here. It's going to be right around this 57 even mark when it retakes it, and then we're going to use high of day at 57.41. Actually going to use 50, that even level. So if it breaks 57 downside, I'm short in chug for the first time, CHGG. But again, I need to catch it on the way in. It's already put in a bit of a range when it tried the first time. If it goes the second time, count me short in chug. Also looking for a similar thing in Etsy. We did talk about that. So a couple of names that are high flyers. The market's rolling over a little bit here, so you want some of these ridiculous gap up plays to be able to catch some of these shorts on the way back in, which I love to do. So chug could be the first.
I guess we're getting a lot of subscribers, so let's not the catapult, let's explode the money. 12,000 subs. Thanks, guys. So that's a nice little number there. You're part of a big club now, guys. 12K is hit, and there's 1,400 watching right now. So thank you, guys. I hope you're having a profitable day. Let us know on the chat if you are or not. But it's been a good day for us today. Needless to say, there we go. We get out of our last little bit here of CCL, and we go long now. So we're long here 90 CCL, but this is a small spot, man. I overfilled long on this one because we did get out of there. This is why, guys, you capture your profits. You're going to think this is nuts, but we're just using these magic things called hands right here. And so we trade in and out. I already have 126. Hey, I already have 126 fills today. So when you hammer a stock, here, and it goes instantly down in the money, 15, 20 pennies, I like to take that profit, and CCL is still the number one stock for me today as we go. GILD though, guys, now a nice little 20-cent winner as we take it out twice. Bang, bang. Still holding GILD. Let's see if we can't break the top of the day here on Gilead. That'd be nice. We're long right now, 79.60, and you could have had this with us a bunch of times. So let's see here, guys. Tell your wife, tell your friends, tell your kids. Trader TV's on fire.
Yeah, and I just got into Etsy. I talked about this one also being a breakdown play along with our good friend Chug. So 73.97 we have as a short. I'll add to this one in front of 74.50. That and Chug retracement plays. Brendan, what do you got?
Mallinckrodt, guys, another earnings name here. Yeah, not so good for Mallinckrodt. MNK down almost 11% here. Got rejected there at 3 one more time on that last little pop after we broke down. So MNK to the downside, guys.
Yeah, that one's on my radar for a 295 break. Although, you know what, to be honest, when I look at this more closely, it does feel like there's a shot for you to take right around 3 even if you want to grab that as well. And then maybe just use this high of day, that 310 mark for a bit of a short entry point. So you can play both ends of that coin if you'd like. I still have that break in because it's SSR. It could be harder to get that. So I'm looking at 302 to 305 as an entry point if you can get up there. I'm not going to take it at that 3 even mark. Every penny counts in a name like Mallinckrodt. Its volume is good at 3 million, but it's not through the roof. So watch that one very carefully. I'm still hoping to get that Chug, but Etsy already working for us in the money here on that 74 short. Look, the amount that this could fill in, you're looking at the next stop being consolidation at 72.50. That's about $1.50 away from what we have to the short side here. So love the risk to reward here in Etsy pulling back in. Nothing against the stock. My wife loves Etsy, but I'm taking this short here. If it breaks VWAP, watch out below 72.40. 72.50 is a target.
Yeah, exactly. Etsy's a great, and that stock was left for dead for a while there, and now back and running around. So Etsy, good stock there. I just tweeted out Gilead chart here, and again, guys, look, it's just a magical level here. It's not even that magical, actually. Hold on a second. Let me just draw this in here if I can. It's just this top here. Why is it going that way? Okay. It's 79.60 here. I'm using the wrong bar. 79.60 was right here, guys. This is that level. It broke it. We went long. We cashed out. 79.80. 3 outs here. I still think we get $80, but let's wait to see here on Gilead making that move, hopefully to the upside here for us. We'll look at $80. Right now, it's a 20 penny winner. We'll wait to see if we can get more, though. I think we get it, though. Gilead 79.70 right now, looking $80 in the face. Let's see if we get it, guys.
Yeah, and another name here, back to that MVIS, guys. It just bounced off of a $1.58 a couple of times. Now remember, support is at 145 to 150. For those of you that weren't tuning in early, you should. A lot of these names, we have watch lists in the morning that we're going through at 9 a.m. to prepare yourself. And this bounce here to the long side through that top that we called at 180. That was a play off a nice little level a few of us were talking about. Shout out to Matt in the chat mentioning that level. So if we break 158 here and you wanted to go short, fair enough. You're going to run into some resistance or support at 145. But I can tell you Etsy continues its slide down. I just have Pfizer long still in the money and Etsy short. I'm still looking to get that chug, but the first one to roll over happened to be Etsy, and we got a $1.50 target. I want to add to this position in front of 74.50 area. We'll do that if we can, but if it doesn't, that just means it went in the money right away, which I like. Brendan, what do you got?
A big crazy mover from yesterday just popping back up here. Fluidime, FLDM, another 12.5% here. Look at the volume that just came in as we broke day highs there. This thing had a huge bounce off the lows at 3 in the morning yesterday. Didn't do much after that. So FLDM back on the run, guys.
We're gonna try Hertz here. We did go short, obviously early, and just cashed in. And this by far now, anyways, is my number one stock. We'll go short again here, 83, as it breaks this low. We're very light now. We are big, heavy here. So now we go light on Hertz as it just does now break down below this little wick here that it made in the pre-market. I don't know. I mean, I don't like breaking these little wicks. That's going to mean anything, but we are still waiting for that $2.80. We've destroyed Hertz today. We do have a car crash here. That's unfortunately for their business as Hertz just going downside. Check out the daily chart on this one. I'll try to speak a little bit slower for you guys here. $20 back in February. Crashing down here to 280 and change. So Hertz, it's taking a beating right now as it keeps going downside. This name, who knows where we're going to stop. This is just a small trade. We're only going to give this probably maybe back till $3 here. We're not going to give back what we've made on this one, but let's just see how further it wants to go here. Hertz looking to declare bankruptcy, and we'll just see if they do that at some point. If we get a halt, we know some news coming, but Hertz right now looking like a little bit of a fail play, down 22%.
Yeah, I mean, not a fail. This CHGG, I mean, my goodness here, it just continues to go up. So I'll keep having to alter my plans, and I'll throw the last one out. You can just sort of forget about it. It's just anyone who's long has been dropping the money in this. I've been looking for pullbacks. We're taking one here in Etsy, but a big time move in CHGG. We'll have to wait for it to slow down. No signs of doing that. The market's trying to get back upside, so we're recapping what, for me, is trying to play a bit of a trend, and that's going to be over here in Pfizer. It did get up to 38.75. You know, our reload was around 27. Honestly, we have a good price here, but we're going to hang on to this one. I think we get a run to that 39 even. The market wants to maintain its strength. Pfizer has positive news here that we're working with, so I still think we can get a retest of that top. No reason to take off that position just yet. MVIS, I'm going to get you guys back to that. Made another leg lower. Tried to get to that 150 mark, didn't quite get there. I'm trying to sit here in front of that 150 if we can catch that one to the long side. 45 would be your stop if you're taking that long. So here comes MVIS to the downside. If you are looking to grab that long at support, I wouldn't take it for as many shares as you would have the first time or second time that it tests. The third time, I don't like it quite as much, but you still got to play the level while it's there.
Yeah, MVIS, play the volume, right? I mean, I think that's key, what Neil's talking about as well here, guys. You got to make sure that you're playing the right stocks at the right time. Wayfair as well, we're going to give it to 169 here on a pullback in. We are short 167.70. We're short right here. It's just bouncing around and dancing, I guess, around is a little bit of a better look there. And I don't really like it, so if it breaks above 169, we're not going to give back our profits, and we are going to tap out of Wayfair. Apparently, it does not have what we need, but we're going to wait on that one for now. Wayfair going nuts. Beyond Meat is another name, obviously, that we've been in today, and we can check back with 98.40. That was a great little bottom there, 97 and change. Brennan mentioned the upgrade was yesterday, so Beyond Meat still up that 3.5%. We're going to find out. I don't think it gets back to VWAP here 100. If it does, we'll take it, but right now it's only $1.50 away, maybe. Yeah, let's look at Beyond Meat. If it gets back near $100, we'll probably take that, but for now, it's not there. We're just waiting on Wayfair. Hertz bouncing around. We're short at 84 here. Like I said, we're just going to give it back. I'll average in a little bit until $3, but right now, Hertz on the short side. Someone asked him, are we going short Hertz? Not really. It's very, very light play. I just thought as we break the day low here, we might have a chance, and we're playing with house money, so I'm not going to give this back till $3. We'll average in a little bit, but we are ready at the big screen here with Brendan and the Sector Watch, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500. Overall, a positive board, but as you'll see, you're going to find on a typical earnings day when you have individual names that are moving to the downside, kind of offsetting the overall positivity, you're going to see individual names standing out here that are kind of limiting this gain. Right now, 1.5% for the overall S&P 500, but if you get rid of Norwegian, you get rid of the cruise lines, you get rid of a couple over here, some of these ones that are standing out, this move's going to be a lot bigger than it actually is. So energy stocks making up most of the strength here today. Obviously, big move higher again today in crude oil, helping that. With material stocks in positive territory, even with WRK and MLM. Big moves down on the day, 13.4% and 6.6% after earnings to the downside. Here's the cruise lines we mentioned. Norwegian, almost 20% to the downside. RCL, CCL following suit. Interesting though, CCL has bounced off the low, kind of working its way back higher when this one is not so much. TT and XYL, wanted to mention these in the industrial sector, also standing out as earnings names to the downside. Just saw Boeing there as well, 2% to the downside for Boeing. Once again today, airlines were definitely strong. Yesterday, have a look at tech stocks. A lot of strength coming out of this name. We mentioned Skyworks earlier, 7.5% for Skyworks. So the semis are strong today right across the board. AMAT and MU among the names that are leading in that group. Banks are also showing some strength outside of UNM and L over there, also in negative territory. So again, when you have some earnings plays that are moving to the downside, offsetting an overall positive showing, you're going to get a mixed kind of board. But overall, we are nicely higher, guys, 1.5% to the upside. Back to you.
We're still trending to the upside here. I just have a couple of positions on. It's going to be that Pfizer long that you continue to see, but also working that Etsy short, guys. We're just looking for a retracement play. Look, you might have a market that's moving to the upside, but Etsy looked like it wanted to roll over. You just have to alert and watch out. It did just bounce off VWAP here. So again, we're working with a relatively tight stop. If you look at the scope of this trade, 68 is the low in the pre-market. It got as high as 75. So it does have a massive 10% range on the session. But I'm only working with about a 74, 60 stop. So I'm only risking about 50 pennies. And we talked about our target of about $1.50 on this trade. So ultimately, if it makes a move to the downside, there's lots of room to go. But you can't ignore the fact that it's trying to bounce off VWAP here. Certainly, it could be worth it to add to my position if it makes another test through a VWAP, but I'm going to hold true and just have our stop locked and loaded, ready to go. We'll sit in our short and be very, very happy with our positioning. It hasn't really bounced heavily, and the market does look like it wants to try to come off as well. So we do have exposure to the long side. That's going to be in Pfizer, but one name that I got to get back to, guys, L Brands is trying to again put in a bit of a bottom here at this 1165 mark, bounced in the pre-market off this price, bounced off the open at this price, trying to bounce now through this price at 1175. I'm going to give it a shot here, guys, in front of that 1175 to 1170 area. It's already tested twice at 1250, so that's got to be your target out if you are looking to take this long. So for me, jumping into an L Brands long here after trying some shorts earlier, but it's trying to put in a higher low.
Yeah, good look there, L Brands long. I'm going to look back at BABA. Just so you guys know, I'm digging in quite a lot here on Hertz. We're going to give it till about 302, 303. But you can see with a bunch of short ticks here, what these little ticks are, anything purple is a short sell. So that means that we're borrowing from our broker and then selling them in the open market in hopes to buy them back lower. So we're taking Hertz to the short side here, using 3 and change as our stopping point. And yeah, I mean, we'll give back everything we made, I guess, if it does break back. Well, not everything, but close. This was a good short. We should have held on to 336. But right now, Hertz bouncing around here. I don't like it. It should have already came back down, I feel like. So we're going to wait to see on Hertz, but we are short. Would love this thing to halt and then give us a print down here at 250, but we'll wait to see on Hertz. There goes Wayfair. It actually comes back up to 169. So that concludes that. It's a nice little money trade for us on Wayfair today. Now I think we'll probably switch to go long. It didn't crack down anywhere near what we thought would today, but Wayfair, nice short here, out, short again and out. Our last short basically was a wash. We take that dollar, then we lose the dollar. So now we're going to look long on this name and short, long Gilead, short Hertz. We're going to go long Wayfair in a minute.
Brendan.
Restaurant name, guys. We were talking about Shake Shack earlier. Had a 13% decline in same store sales or same restaurant sales. Bloomin' Brands here, just 10.5% decline for measuring same restaurant sale declines for the quarter. Still down about 11% here for BLMN, making day lows as we speak down here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of names that we haven't covered today. We haven't talked about the airlines at all. They're under a little bit of pressure when you look at the percentage, but the chart is telling a much bigger story. And look, we traded some NCLH, some Norwegian, and some Carnival to the downside. Certainly, you could have been covering these names as well. United Airlines getting absolutely crushed. They just broke through the low of the day, actually. Fresh lows at 24.30. So I know there's other things that are moving here. We've been all over and crushing some of the cruise names, but you are seeing a massive move in UAL, and I'm looking to see if it can make a bit of a bottom. Worth noting here on the daily, it did have a higher low that it put in once here at 21.33, but then there was another one here right at that 24 mark where we are right now. So let's see if it can hold this. It dipped below that yesterday, and we're trying to get back above it. If it can bounce here, there was some support at this price previously on the way down. So let's see if this is the bottom. If we consolidate between 24 even and 24, call this level here about 24.60, that could be a breakout play, but you want to be patient for it. I'm already looking for something similar in Carnival. We talked about if they leveled off, I wanted to go long Carnival and not necessarily in Norwegian. For me, that'll be if this one can get back up through the 13.50 mark, which I'm sitting and it's about to do right now.
Yeah, good look there. Lots of stocks moving around. So I sent the DM there on the chat that I would. Oh, you brought me one? Why, thank you, Mr. Randy there. Okay, My Coffee. You can see the not Trader TV mug, but this says My Coffee. So thank you, Randy, for that one. You may get in trouble copyright there, Randy. We use Trader TV mug, 170. Okay, DM, you did ask how many pennies or dollars do we cross with our limit order. I mean, this is an easy one for Neil and I because the answer is really just it's stock specific. I mean, you sort of look at what the level 2 says. So right here, this is the level 1, the national best bidder offer. You can see here on Wayfair, it's about 30 cents. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. It's about 30 cents right now. So when the stock opens up, like when it breaks 170 here, I can expect it to be at least 30 cents. So I would say a cross up of like 40, 50 cents on a stock like this. Just basically look to see what the level 1 and level 2 are saying here. And then the amount of shares that you require will really judge how far you cross up. But I would say when it's slow, sort of like right now, you judge and you say, okay, it's 40 cents. So that, therefore, when the market gets going and you want to make sure you hit the level, then you want to add probably 20 or 30%. Let me give you another example before we go back to trading here. Beyond Meat would be another example here. See how this is 11 cents? Well, now it's only 5 cents, 10 cents, 12 cents. So I would say on a market break, you add that 20 or 30% and you cross 20 cents or so. So there you go. It's 12 cents right now. You cross that. You get a stock like Hertz would be another example. We'll just talk about little stocks here. You can cross like 1 or 2 pennies. You can see 90 by 91. So if 90 breaks, you'll probably get 89. There's enough volume there. So you got to look at liquidity. You got to look at your level 2s. That's just a little bit of education, but that's sort of an easy one for us. Don't cross too much. That's the one warning that I have. Yep. Like on Tesla, don't cross up $5 because if Tesla breaks, you could get that fifth dollar. And then depending on how many shares you have, it's basically a no-win situation for you. So that's a little bit of a long-winded answer, but
no, it's a perfect answer, and the reality is there's always a price you don't want to pay. Consider that with your limit orders. Perfectly answered there, Sean. Good job. Brendan, I think you got something for us, bud.
Yeah, we were talking about Pfizer a little bit earlier, guys, on that COVID-19 related news. Another one in that space, Bristol Myers here having a nice day. 2% to the upside. They report on Thursday, so they gave a little bit of a preview to their earnings expected on Thursday that were kind of in line with expectations. So moving higher for BMY, guys.
So I'm going to get you guys back to, before I recap what's going on here in L Brands, I just want to get you back to this this position here in CCL. It did just break that 1350 seller that was huge. I talked about wanting that to get taken out before we tried a long trade. And again, the stock has been getting absolutely crushed all morning long with the news in Norwegian, concerns of it being a going concern. I think when you take that bit of a break, it might shake some people out. But for me, I'm giving it to the low of day. That's down here at 1333. It's our first crack taking a long in Carnival. It's been a great short. So we'll see what happens here. I do like this one for one shot, and then we'll try it again later if it takes out some fresh lows. It wasn't going to be Norwegian that I made this play on. It was always going to be Carnival Cruise. But we'll see if we can't get this one back up to that 14 mark. Not even VWAP. If it gets to 14, that looks like it's going to be a little bit of resistance on the way up here. So started at 53. We'll add to this one in front of 33. But that's a hard stop at the low of the day.
Guys, we got that. Our tech team is working on mic issues because I'm just talking here, so I don't think that could be too loud. So they're going to get that fixed. Okay, guys, Beyond Meat right now, 79.37. We did go short. It goes right in the money, 40 pennies, ho-hum about that one. Like I said, Beyond Meat giving back a little bit today, coming back in, but still up that 2.4%. If we do look here on a daily chart, we will see on this one, 97 and change. Like I was hoping to fill this gap. We could get a gap to about 95.50. We'll wait to see on that one. That's the gap fill. Also 96 and change right here back on March 9th. So there is some possibilities to get even lower here as it just goes down again, another 40 cents into the money. So we'll wait on this one. Beyond Meat though, 96.50 or so might be a spot to get out of the first half of this, and then we'll wait for that 95 even to come. But right now, Hertz, I get it, guys. Hertz is, I wish Hertz would continue to go down as well. We need this 90 to break for it to do anything. We are short 91s here, so just right here off of Hertz, we did average in a lot up here. So let's wait to see if this one comes back in. It'll be a nice little air horn for us. I hope the volume's better now, guys, but we are ready at the big screen for Moolah Talks with Mr. Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's have a look at some of the major pairs we like to watch throughout the session. Going to focus on the pound today. British pound back above 124. We actually had a bit of a pull in after that move up to 126 we had last week, testing this high. Back to 124 here. Looks like a little bit of support. Overall, just trading in this kind of channel for the past weeks, months even, for the pound. Overall, some US dollar weakness coming into play a little bit today. So you're going to see a few things in positive territory here versus the US dollar, including, our Canadian dollar, 71.25, up about 0.4% on the session. The euro's lower, the euro versus the pound obviously lower because the pound is higher, bouncing off that 124 as we mentioned. Below that, I mean, you're looking at 123 and then 122 as support for the pound if we're going to go lower. Swiss franc and the Japanese yen kind of inverse. We've seen this over the past week and a half or so, typically a bit of a risk off type of play, but Japanese yen lower on some economic news. Swiss franc is higher today, 0.7% back to 97 and change. Australia and New Zealand back in positive territory after decent moves to the downside yesterday. Crypto world pretty quiet today. Bitcoin though back above 8,800 and holding for the time being. Guys, back over to you.
Okay, Hertz, guys. Yeah, Bitcoin. I was actually looking at Bitcoin today, but GBTC not doing too much. Okay, your boys got this short on Hertz. We talked about that. We're taking some out now, and thank you for all the mic help there. The guys are busy working on that. Hopefully, we'll get that going. It's hard yesterday because Arun was here, so adjusting for me and maybe is a little different than our friend Arun here. We get out at 86.87. We have a banger short here on Hertz, guys. This is a cowbell right now. I told you we were loaded up there. Hopefully, that wasn't too loud. So alley-oop to the market as we continue to come downside. Nice little trade forming here for Hertz. We've got this one. This is a beautiful trade. We're in this with a decent amount of shares. Maybe share-wise biggest position, but it's only a $3 stock, so who cares? We're going to wait to see if Hertz can take off the bottom here and even get back to this 280 level. We know there's size at 280, so we need to see that break before we have a real true winner. But as you know, Hertz now seeking some aid and some guidance here on a possible bankruptcy filing. So we're going to wait to see Hertz. We are now short 292 as it's just bouncing around. That's why we take a little bit off down here, 87, 86. Now back down to 88, 89, Neil. But it's moving around Hertz.
Thank you for holding it up so I can take a quick bathroom break. But as I come back, I want to reload and show you guys what we have going on here. I do have several positions on, so I'm going to throw the position board up for you to be able to see. We got Carnival. We talked about that 1350 break. Able to add actually at a good bounce. It didn't take out that low, so 45 is actually going to be my average price price long. So Etsy, we're short 74.04. It's just hanging around flat. I think it's going to be a good one here in front of that 74.60 retracement. L Brands, we took that long in front of its higher low, 11.81 to the long side. It's approaching that 12 even mark, so that's in the money as well. And then Pfizer, again, which we've been holding for a bit of a trend trade. As long as the market holds up, I do like Pfizer long to see if it can't test that 39 mark. I did take a little bit out for profitability, so we have 47s long on that one. So we'll take the board off. Carnival, probably the riskiest trade because we're so counter trend here, but I did mention on the way down I was going to take a shot on a bounce in the cruise lines, and it was going to be Carnival over Norwegian. So that's the idea that we're working with here. All of these trades working in the money, but haven't hit our profit targets just yet. L Brands, however, is getting to that point where I think we have to look at taking a little bit off here, because you get this move into VWAP, and really you don't want to stare at, like I say, a gift horse in the mouth. If it's going to fail here at VWAP, I'm going to take some profit off. We'll take that 20 cents, put it in our back pocket. If it wants to reload here and make a range, I'll get more shares back at 80 in front of 75. That's our stop, and then play this until it finally breaks. But the market's holding up, 3 long. The only short I have, of course, in Etsy, it's up 10%. So if it wants to roll over, even in a strong market, it has the chance to sell off. So Etsy, I like the structure. Otherwise, we're just long the market here.
Yeah, I mean, the market long looks like a good spot. I'm short just Beyond Meat and Hertz. Those are rallying positions. Look, Beyond Meat right now, guys, I really need this thing to break 97. We are short 97.30, 97.28 to be exact. You can check that out on our little board there below. But if 97 breaks, I'm waiting at 96.60 or so, random price, I know. But if that breaks, we see if we come downside here. Not much size at all on the bid, all the way down, just a bunch of ones down here. So we'll see if someone can't wipe that out and we go short here, 97.28. We are already short Beyond Meat. Look, we could take a 30-cent winner right now, but we're going to wait to see what happens on a break further downside of Beyond Meat right now. So 97 and change is where we're short. Here we go. Where's the break? You can see it's not breaking. There's someone holding this. 97, they tried to crack it. NASDAQ now holding. Maybe they did crack. You might have got some dark pools below 97 there, which is not supposed to happen, but 97's being held right now. Looks like we'll probably break it. If it does giddy up, we'll see if we can't take about a 60 or so cent winner on this one. But 97 needs to break. For now, it just holds like a rock star there. So let's wait to see if 97 breaks. Then we'll get out. We are short. There it is. Okay, officially breaks. Here we go. 96.70 now coming. We're waiting at 96.60. Kind of a random price. Come on, Beyond Meat. Right now, that's the 50-cent winner on board. Down, 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 and bang. There it is. Sorry about the volume there, guys. Not much you can do. 97.30 out, 96.70. Glad you could see that with us. Hammer time on Beyond Meat. Drop that money down. The day just keeps getting better and better. Beyond Meat for the win, guys.
Yeah, whoever's got that Etsy with me here, guys, it was a patient sort of trade on those retracements. You can't force your way into them, but you got to have targets. Slap shot action for you hockey fans out there. I know we're Canadian, so there might not be too many of you. We love our Leafs. We wish they could get back on the ice. We just took some out there for 50 cents. I'm going to take some out for $1. I'm going to take some out for that $1.50 mark. We're only risking about 50, 60 initially on this position. If it wants to make a bigger move, I think at this point, I might just hang on. Even if we get these two targets here, I might hang on to a little bit of our position, the last maybe 10, 15%. To see if it can retrace past 72 and then get a bigger flush on Etsy. And again, that probably is going to need the market to roll over heavily here. The fact that we've held 28.80 on the ES and haven't made a huge move off of Arun's 28.65 level, I think that means there is some juice if the market wants to head down. So we're going to hang on to some of this Etsy. It's trying to bounce back around VWAP. I'm not going to be adding to our position. We already loaded up 3 times in front of our stop. That's good enough for me. That's short working. Our longs are still successfully in the money here, led by Carnival Cruise Lines. Again, I know it's been a short all morning long. This is what we're looking for. Just took some out here at 71, 25-cent win on the initial part of our shares. Going to take some out here in the 90s, and then again at 14 even. If it gets to VWAP, that's your ultimate target on this turnaround play. And again, I stress, Carnival over Norwegian, for me, from a risk-reward standpoint, just felt like it was a better bottom.
I'm going to short again here, 97s on Hertz, as we still have that $3 level here staring us in the face. What up, Brandon?
Just watching Hanes Brands here, guys. Just checking on news on Hanes Brands, but popping up here 5.7% on decent volume. Just broke $10 here on the way to the upside. Going to check on news on this one, but HBI moving.
Okay.
HBI. Now, I felt so good about that Etsy trade. Now it's coming right back in. Again, if you were aggressive in getting out for a 50-cent win, I think at that point it would make sense to reload. But because I only took out a third of my position, I'm not reloading this here. I don't want to be adding risk when you get a VWAP bounce. And ultimately, it did dip below by about 20 or 30 cents, but that's nothing when you scale this up. It's still a failed VWAP break, and I'm not going to be adding. I don't want to be risking more shares here. We'll put that money in our pocket. I still like to hold in Pfizer. I'm not going anywhere in that position until we get up to that 38, 80-ish mark, and we'll take a few shares off here. But I'm going to adjust my stop order when it comes to Etsy. I don't want to reverse into the long. At this point, I'm not buying highs when we already have long exposure to the markets. Our last position, of course, L Brands. I told you guys why you want to take some shares off at VWAP. It didn't give the pullback to add to it at 81. I'm still going to do it if it does. If we break through, our target initially is going to be 12.20 for a few more shares out, and after that 12.35 or so in front of the high of the day. It's double topped here at 12.50. I'm not expecting a breakout. This is just a nice little bounce play off a higher low. So if we can get this one to 12.35 to 12.40, I'll be perfectly happy with that on L Brands. Remember, it is down essentially on the day, so we are catching a bit of a bounce off a retracement.
Oh God, I'm going to sneeze at some point here. It is almost getting ready for fruit salad time, so we'll be taking a break when we go to Valeria, and we'll grab some fruit salad. Okay, 297 right now. Yeah, we're blessed. Day Trade the World is who we trade through here, and they hook us up. What's wrong with this keyboard, man? It keeps falling down here. We do go short 297 again, averaging into Hertz, so we're going to wait to see what does happen there. But right here, we're going to look to see if we can't get back into that 280 range on Hertz. Doesn't look super promising right now, but that's the trade that we have on Hertz and Beyond Meat. That's about it, but we are waiting now. I don't know if we're ready yet, but maybe not. Hertz, look, 296, 297. We're using that 3 as a defense spot. So if 3 can come through, then that'll be a nice little spot for us here on Hertz coming up. We'll get out 301 or so. But there it is, just in my ear now. The European update with Miss V is on board. So what's up, Valeria?
Thank you, Sean, and hey guys, welcome to European Update. Europe is in positive territory today, though Turkey is just a little bit down at 0.09%. Britain is up 1.62%, Germany is up 1.86%, France is up 1.97%, Italy is up 1.68%, Spain is up 0.7%. Some quick news updates from Europe. German fashion Hugo Boss announced that it's expecting a 50% drop in overall sales in the second quarter. Millions of Italians are returning to work this week, though retailers will have to wait for a few more days. Russia reports 10,000 of new coronavirus cases, third day in a row. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to guys.
Thank you very much, Valeria. I just got another leg out at that 80 mark here, in front of that 80 mark on Pfizer, so we'll go arrows up because this has just been a strong, slowly trending stock, and I talked about the volatility maybe not being as big in a Pfizer. We got our average price in and around here at 38.50, 45 to be technical there. So you do catch a 35-cent win on this the second third. The last little bit, I am looking to see us test 39 even. At this point in the day, if it would admit a faster move, I think certainly we could hold some through the high of day. Because we're approaching that midday mark, I am going to be taking it out in front of 39 if we get an opportunity to do that, and then we can always catch a break. I want to be adding on any kind of a pullback as long as the market is holding up, which it has been doing so far. We did it at the morning, and I want to do it one more time here, guys. We're trading through Day Trade the World. We have over 60 markets that we trade here, and I know we're showing you guys primarily the U.S. markets. That's where a lot of the activity is. I know that's what you're interested in, but believe me, that's not where the only profitability is when you're day trading. Now, I'm going to show you the top traders by market throughout the company in yesterday's session on Monday. New York, 30,000 top trader made in that market, 26,000 over in the NASDAQ, 12,000 across the pond in Amsterdam, and then LSE, that's going to be London, 8,700 there. You see Germany with 8,000, then Toronto with 6,500. So look, there's a lot of opportunities to make money. Yes, we focus on the U.S. because it's hot, because you got the movers, especially when it comes to these cruise lines, which have been moving so much. But you can trade some of those names in Europe if you have the ability to, and we can at Day Trade the World. So do check it out. Lots of opportunity, but I was so excited a few seconds ago about that great short that I thought we had over there in Etsy. And one of the reasons you do take some profit off is I don't want a binary scenario where if I have a 72.50 target, it either goes there and hits me and I win, or it comes back to my stop and I lose. I'll take some layers out. That way, if it kind of zigs around before it hits my stop, I've taken some profit and I lose less. If it goes all the way through 72.50, I'm still up. No problem with that. Brendan, what do you got for us, bud?
Just watching Mosaic here, another earnings name we didn't mention early on this morning, bouncing up towards $12. Mosaic's $12 again, guys. Haven't looked at this one for quite some time, but nice move to the upside today. Still 8%, but earnings were decent for MOS, guys.
MOS, and the market making another leg to the upside. That means good things for me over in Carnival to the moon. We do have that long here at 13.45 was our average price. I just took some more shares out there at 82, so a 37-cent winner to add to the 25 we already took. I'm still hanging on to some of these shares, looking for that 14 break, looking for that VWAP retracement. So good news on that long, could be potentially bad news, and not potentially, it is bad news for the Etsy short. We are going to take out the rest of those shares as it breaks my stop. So we tried that rollover. The longs end up winning, so long and Carnival working and continuing to do so. L brands continue to work to the long side for us. Pfizer continue to work to the long side. Our rollover short in Etsy, profitable at first, but then just failed. Through my stop at 60, if you're hanging on to it, it hasn't taken out the high of the day.
Yeah, good call there on Etsy as we regroup here. Oh, come on, stock. Just getting some orders out here. But yeah, it's fruit salad time, guys. So today, it looks like Neil's favorite. I think you said kiwi last time.
I love the kiwi.
Yeah, there's a plethora, there's a good word for you as well, of kiwi today. So we will regroup with that one and just continue to look at some different names for you. Wayfair, you know, where's the sleepy button? There it is. Wayfair continues to be a sleepy hollow here as we'll just wait to see nothing happening on this name. I wish there was. We're still waiting for 170 to come through. Maybe we'll smash that if it does come. Basically, the only stock I have now is this Hertz, and it looks like it's going to blow up here through $3. So we're not giving back what we made, but we did average in here. Good thing we took some profits when it did drop down. Now we're at this $3 spot, so the kill zone will be right here, breaking through $3 up to 301. And just like you guys asked, what would be the cross up here? I say 2 or 3 pennies. You know, you break through 3, my trigger gets hit at 301, and then we look to hit like 02, 03, 04. So we'll see if that does happen. But right now, Hertz, we're short at 94 on this name. I don't know if it comes back to positive, maybe I'll rethink about this one, but we're going to wait on Hertz. It looks like, unfortunately, this will be a broken record because we keep talking about it, but Hertz at $3, that's the kill spot there. We did hammer the short early. The one thing is, guys, you got to regroup and trade a little differently as the day goes on. That's the one thing to note. You don't put on as much risk for me anyways as you do in the first couple minutes than now. It's 11 o'clock. We have an old trader friend of ours that called this the HFT hour.
Yes.
From 11 till like 3:30. That almost sounds like 4 hours to me, but that just gives you an idea of how traders' mentality is around this time of day.
But that's what makes it such a good line, is because it really is that long. And I sort of just threw it into the chat there on L brands. And you know, when you get those failed breaks through at VWAP like you do see here, it was a nice little bounce. We did call that 1175 higher low that it just put in. We took 80s long in front of it, 81 technically. We got some out initially at VWAP. It tried to make a secondary push. It couldn't get through. I took some more out on the way down. So we're locking in that 15 to 20 cents worth of profit. So if it does retest that bottom, again, you're not turning what was a fantastic trade long into a loser. It's going to be profitable no matter what. If you wanted to, you can reload by adding on the way in if it wants to make another push. Add to it at 12.10 if it bounces. Add to it on a pullback. So I just want to make sure at this time of day, you know, the LFT hour like you talk about it, or HFT hour when things slow down, I'm not throwing away profit, and I can play inside ranges as well. So I will be adding to it at 80 if I can get it. I will be adding to it if we can get a break at 12.10 on L brands. It's worked so far. I'm not going to get away from this. Brendan, what do you got for us, buddy?
There's been a lot of talk recently, guys, about real estate investment trusts. NRZ in New York up 11.8% here today. Nice look here. Tight little consolidation forming. This is $7 up here. 680 looks like the pivot for this little tiny consolidation. But they reported earnings that were actually better than expected, even with the shutdown. They're in the commercial real estate side of things. So NRZ, a REIT that's doing okay, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, just typing in the chat. And look, we're trading a lot of symbols here, and I know I've been neglecting NVIS, which is so good this morning. Yeah, but we did talk about that 145 to 150 level. We've given that as support. Just because you're not seeing me dip into it, to be perfectly honest with you, I just keep forgetting to put my order in there, guys. And, it did just bounce one time off 53. I was waiting at 51. This time it bounced off 55. I was waiting at 53. So I keep getting this one wrong. The level's good, and it bounces off of it. I'm just not aggressive enough. It looks like you have to maybe put it a couple of pennies in front. Still looking for it to take off that top. And I've seen this happen before, if it's going to run, maybe it happens in the afternoon. I'll be honest with you. So, kind of keep this one and file it away here, that if it takes out that 180 again, I think it's worth another try here. It was such a strong move off 70 yesterday. It was a nice bounce off obvious support again today. And yesterday, the secondary move was in the afternoon. So it could be the same pattern here happening in NVIS. I just wouldn't hold through that support. If it breaks 45, I'm done with this one, probably with that long trade.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to, I think it was Gerbier there. Gerbier Sidhu there talking 9 to 12. Yeah, we sort of just talked about why we don't go long, why the show doesn't continue on through. These are the best times to trade, like right now. So 9 till 12, obviously, including pre-market trades. I did take a couple of trades pre-market. So the market just does slow down, and it's just so much better for every trader to trade in the morning time. But okay, Wayfair now breaks down below this level that we're looking at, 164.65. Wayfair now waking up after I hit that sleepy button, but now we're waiting for this bottom, 164 and change. We're going to go short right now. 164.80, I believe, is the bottom. We will short that if it does break. I think some of the momentum now is lost in this stock. Obviously, it's breaking out of its little channel here. So I like the short in Wayfair, and I would have liked it even better, 165.70, but I wasn't paying attention. So now we'll have to go short this name as it coming downside now. And there it is. We are now short Wayfair, guys, right here at this low. So it's not a great spot, but 164.60 is where we're short. And look what I'm talking about there. The spread opens up to 50 cents on Wayfair when you get to these levels. So not a great level for me to be short here. We're already out 40 cents just because of the spread, guys. So that's what we're talking about. Know your time of day and know your stock. That's why, guys, you got to take the risk. But here it comes right down. Wayfair to the downside here, 164.62. Again, I'm looking for this little level right here, 163.30. If we can get that off, that'd be good. Here it is, 50 cents in the money right now. Let's see if we get lower.
Yeah, and I kind of mentioned this one to you a while ago, and it's a sleepy stock. It's Mallinckrodt. I was a little bit aggressive taking this 295. Sure, we were able to pick it up at 94 when it broke. Just a little retest after a flush. It bounced back. Because it's short sell restricted, you couldn't catch it on the break. The only way to get this was to wait for it to come back and retest VWAP. So I did jump in front of the sword this time, and I feel like in a weak name like Mallinckrodt here, that was probably going to be worth it. It seems like that's going to be the case as we're now in the money, only about 4 or 5 cents. But I'm looking to see if it can't get down to this 286 again. I will take some off if we get that price, but I am looking for a retest of 280 ultimately. I like to catch a little bit of a bigger trade there if we can get it. So Mallinckrodt is my only short right now. I do still have long in Carnival. That's now only 30 cents in the money. We did take a more than that on our second third of that position. I also have L Brands, which never gave me that pullback into 1180, but once it does, I will add to that position. And I'm still hanging on to Pfizer in the money, 30 pennies. I'm sort of riding or dying with Pfizer here to the long side. As long as the market holds up, you're going to see me at the bottom here long in Pfizer.
Yeah, good look there. Pfizer long, we talked about that early, and I think Neil's mentioned this. This is why you got to come to us as early as possible because we ran over Pfizer. Look, pretty soon, guys, not to tease it, maybe I'll get in trouble here, but pretty soon we are going to be having a watch list coming for you guys. We'll get the links ready. You can subscribe. It's what you're asking for. You can follow along with us. It'll talk about some notes in there that we're looking at and some key stocks, so you can sort of follow along and play with us as we do as well. But here we go. Again, guys, another bad wick. I need to switch this up somehow, Neil, because all of these wicks that are happening on Wayfair are causing me to get out too early. So there it is. We hold a small amount. I better just cancel my bid. We do get out of some Wayfair there by accident. Whatever. I mean, it's a 30 penny winner, but we were still waiting for lower and lower. So that's not an out there that I meant to take, but we will take the 20 or so pennies on Wayfair. But I'm still waiting, guys, for 163.
Yeah, that's a pain in the butt because you look at that trend trade and it's been bouncing off VWAP. And when you're short in that trend, you really don't want to get out. But then again, you're going to have a stop to trail you out just so you can manage some other names. I understand that. That's one of the risks of using stop orders, guys. You're sort of leaving it to the market, and anything can happen when you get those prices that do come in across the time and sales. But Brendan has a little something for us. What do you got, bud?
Yeah, just watching some of these cruise lines, guys. Norwegian here back to this significant level from earlier on and got rejected again at 1175. So if we can stay below this 1175, no reason this doesn't test lows of the day. Obviously, SSR on Norwegian, but this entire group trying to bounce a little bit, but running into a little bit of resistance, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with my CCLs because Norwegian can't get going. And I think if it takes out that 1180, then I'll come back to Carnival and basically show you here. I still have this long at 42, but if it takes that 80 goes out on Norwegian, I think we're getting to VWAP here, but I only have a third of my position left. This is why you have to take profit on the way back up. You're still counter trend. I mean, I'm not even considering the trend half broken unless we get past that 14 mark, and even then you got to get through VWAP. So there's lots of reasons why you could still be hanging on to shorts if you had them in Carnival. I wouldn't blame you for continuing to maybe play a little bit of this, but it has made a bottom. It was a strong 113.50 when I went back, was a bit of a level. So when that seller was broken, and again, there was a big seller, not size, but an iceberg order at 13.50. When that got taken out, that's when I joined the party to the long side, looking to try to catch a bottom. I came in with a bit of a bias to the long, looking for it in Carnival. The Norwegian news blew that one up, but now we got the long trade. I think we can get to that VWAP as long as the selling slows down over in Norwegian. I think that's going to be the key to this last Carnival home run we're trying to hit.
Yeah, I agreed 100% there. I'm going to go back and look at Carnival. Neil's talking about it greatly now, so we'll look at that in a minute. Wayfair is here. Oh, and I did want to talk, I see a question on Hertz. Yeah, Hertz is out there. So once again, that is a face slap because we tried Hertz, not Zach Ertz there. Shout out to Zach Ertz. Anybody know which team he's on?
My fantasy team.
Yeah. I know he's on your team, Neil, but professional team. Neil and I also in the fantasy football league that I think it's called High School Memories.
It is.
We've dated ourselves numerous times, but we are well away from high school now. I know Neil may look young, I may look old, but high school is a thing in the past. But we are still in a high school football pool. Neil, no, last year you didn't win, but the year before, right?
Yeah, a couple of years ago I won, but I didn't. I should have made the finals last year, but I couldn't.
Yeah, well, we have a couple GMs that are pretty shady.
I'm not going to call anybody out.
Should I shout them out now? I don't know.
Andrew, you got to pick up your game.
Neil's shouting them out. Wow.
Look, I mean, ultimately, if you don't answer trade talk, if you're not active, you got to play to win, baby. And it's like trading. Like, you can't sit there on the sidelines forever. Otherwise, you're always going to be a loser. We have a thing in our pool. The last place is the butler. And when we get our draft together, they have to both provide the refreshment and serve it. So they used to do an apron thing, but then that was too embarrassing for people. But you know what, Andrew, if you don't want to be the butler, you got to step your game up there. Brendan, what do you got?
I'm just watching Northern Dynasty Minerals here, guys. A little penny stock again popping up on a volume scanner. Big volume spike up there at 65 cents, it looks like. Northern Dynasty Minerals, little miner that announced some new financing today. They secured some new financing. So if you like the penny stocks, have a look at that. Coming up about 11:45, 11:50, we're going to have American Pacific Mining on the show today to talk about that sector, a name that's traded right here in Toronto, guys, on the CSE.
Okay.
Yeah. This chug finally actually turned around and gave you a $2 flush, and I wasn't even around. All morning long, I've been looking for this one. If I'm going to be late to the party, I'm going to look at this lower high at 58.50 and see if we can work something off that, but I don't want to catch this one in front of the sword. If it can turn around here, make any kind of a push, maybe a retrace through 58. I just want to see it fail to get back to the upside, and then I'm going to see if we can short chug. I've been, I initially liked this short better than I liked Etsy, so there's no way you're going to catch me not taking this at some point. This is sort of my style to look for these pullbacks. So I got to have this one in some way, shape, or form. 58.50 is the out that I'm looking for now. If it can roll past 58 again, I'll start this position here and see if we can't work something that makes a little bit of sense here in chug. 33% that we're up on the day. I mean, that's ridiculous.
And I did miss Uber there, guys. Thank you for whoever mentioned that. You must watch the show because Uber, I love trading Uber. Missed opportunity today. So shout out Again, I missed who mentioned it there, but shout out to you, Lucas, there, as I see on our board, on our chat there. Yeah, Uber breaking this little VWAP would have been perfect. We love those trades, guys. So yeah, definitely a missed opportunity. I love trading Uber. I also love trading XOM. Now, you know, that we missed that one as well, possibly off of this little VWAP here at 10:05. We're so busy doing other things, but again, VWAP might have not been here at 10:05, but now we're coming to the downside. What's oil doing? Okay, here's the oil chart. We haven't really discussed it too much, except for with Brendan there on the board, but Neil and I staying away from some of these names. Oil right now 16% up. Nice little move upside here. So let's try to find some oil names. That
you know what the thing about it is, Sean? It's just that on the way, on this massive move in oil prices lately, I've been making so much more money when it's under pressure that when you catch an up day, I just really didn't see anything that's set up, and I feel like that was a bit of a mistake when I do look at sort of what's happening over here in the stock that we like to go long in XOM. I'm kind of glad, because, you know, it's trending to the downside. You are getting a bit of a push, and, you know, I would probably at this point have been trying to fight this one. I promise you I would have been long on a 45.70 break, and I would have gotten stopped out a second ago. So the fact that I haven't been looking at XOM or the oil space has saved me a bit of money today, and I think I'm just going to continue that trend, stick with what we have on. I'm going to quickly drop the position board for you, because I got a few of them here, guys. A few positions we do have in. I added that Mallinckrodt. I just took that chug position. So Carnival still long at 13.42. That's still in the money, 26 cents. Still short. That we just got in short at that chug, 58.06. I will add to it in front of that 58.50. L Brands, I just reloaded actually at 82 there in front of that 75. I'll get out some at VWAP once again at 12 if we can, but I want a bigger push. Mallinckrodt short at 294. That's got to get down to the 285 mark before I cover it. And Pfizer. Yeah, I'm still long Pfizer, still going to be long Pfizer. You know what the story is with that. It's going to 39 or it's not. End of story.
Yep, Pfizer's a good one. I was waiting for 39.25 there, but obviously waiting for that. Not any good. Okay, Uber, I did want to go back into that one. I've looked again. If you want, who's on the board over there, Lucas, you could do this side shot and I'll show a little bit of what we're talking. Thank you. Oh, look at that, so quick. Okay, you know, we're not just looking at what we're showing you guys. There is some talk about that I see on the chat. Neil and I obviously don't just rely on one chart to make our decisions. We have a couple quote boards here. We have a chat going with Brendan here as well. Same as the chat as you guys have, and then a bunch of different stocks. You know, I have Pfizer over here, a few different, Microsoft always, big stocks here, and then up here we're looking at a 1 minute, a 5, a 3, a 12, a daily, and whatnot, as well as the futures and oil right here. So we're always looking at everything. We're trying to give you guys the best looks possible, so it's not always based on the chart that you see. But Brendan, what's up?
Just having a look at Honeywell here, guys, popping up on a volume scanner above this 136. So held 136 a couple of times, starting to move back towards 136.5. Nicely higher on the day, 0.8%. Obviously, a medical equipment maker, a mask maker. President Trump visiting one of their facilities in the southern U.S. today. So Honeywell on watch, guys.
Yeah, certainly worth a look there. And you've been talking about a little bit about Tesla earlier, Sean. I know it's a name that I haven't actually even touched today, which is a bit of a shame. There was one trade that I liked. It didn't quite get to that 790 mark, as we mentioned before, but it did just turn around at VWAP again. I know Kevin, one of our traders here, and if you're following along in the chat at home, you know, Kevin's one of our senior traders on the floor. Usually, of course, it is filled behind us. Obviously, now it's just us that are going to be in here. He's been talking about some plays that he's making. I'm looking with this strong market to actually see if we can burst through VWAP and catch a bit of a long trade through on Tesla. That would be at around 82 to 84 if it can get up there. We're about $10 away from that happening. But for now, let's get to Valeria for our In Focus.
Hey guys, welcome to In Focus. Quick news updates in case you've missed. FANG stocks have proven to be stronger than other industries during the pandemic. Facebook jumped 10% after reporting its earnings last week. Apple shares were up mostly due to its services sales, such as Apple Store and other subscriptions. Amazon is the only one on the group that reported less profit than expected. Netflix reported that its number of subscriptions almost doubled. Google was up 7%. Carnival Cruise Lines announced that they are going to resume their North American services starting on August 1st, becoming the first cruise line to resume business after the pandemic. World Health Organization is going to speak to US government and Gilead Sciences to make their coronavirus drug more available worldwide. US Treasury announced that it's going to borrow a record $3 trillion this quarter. US government debt now nearing $25 trillion. That's all for today. Stay healthy and stay focused. Back to guys.
Take this, because all of a sudden, guys, we're dropping our jaw here. I only went to CCL because you guys were talking about it there. So shout out to whoever it was, Kevin, you, Neil. But look at this. We took that short. Like, I'm short right now 77 on CCL. I just covered 69s, 68s. So 77 right here on CCL. Sorry I wasn't able to get it to you, as Valeria doing a great job with some in focus there. Yeah, Tech doing the heavy lifting right now. 13, I mean, look, short. This is 3 shorts here. You can see 3 arrows maybe. I don't know, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. You can see 3 shorts. We shorted the crap out of this. Am I allowed to say that? We shorted the stock, and then we get down here, 1369, 1368, coming downside here. We're going to wait to see 1361. But again, guys, 1125. I may just take this out. I mean, this is scalping here, and again, we're prop trading now, trading other people's money, so that's always good. And then we also get the rebates, guys, on the way out. So I can sit here on a NASDAQ, an NYSE, an EDGX, or a BATS, anything like that, and get rebates to get out of this stock. So right now, an instant in the money, 10 pennies. I'll take this at 11.25, Neil.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, what I'm going to do when I see that rejection, I still want to retrace the VWAP on this trade, but because I'm in the money, still 25 pennies, I'm going to move my stop to trail it. I was at the low of the day. Now that it's made a turnaround, failing to get through that next hump, that $14 mark, when we outlined this trade earlier, it fails to get there. Trailing stop now through 1360. So look, it's going to be a winning trade no matter what. I still think we can get to VWAP. I'm going to hang tight to that. You know, this Chubb trade, unlike Etsy, where I was able to get multiple entry points, this one is trying to roll over without letting me get back in. I'm being a bit picky here because I wanted to make sure my price is around that 58 mark. If it does break down through 57.30, that might be my only shot to add. I think because it's so far above VWAP, usually my initial target at 56, I might just have to go ahead and do that. So if it breaks this line in the sand here, 58.30, I'll probably add to my position if I haven't already done so, closer to that 58 mark. So CHGG, it's up 31.5%. We've got our rollover price. We have our stop locked and loaded. Let's see if we can't get a flush to the downside. It's the only short I have with Mallinckrodt. I don't know if that really counts. Not a really big stock there. Carnival's still long. Pfizer and L Brands as well.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you guys, I mean, Neil and I both can win one long, one short. You're playing within the range. When a stock like Carnival's done 46 million shares, obviously lots of opportunity. Wayfair, I hate that we got out-ticked. Let's call up our positions here if we can, guys. I hate the fact that this Wayfair position, I got out of a half of my position there for 30-cent winner. We don't like that. Look where we're short, 164.62. I'm seeing now it's $1 in the money, so that's a good one. Our CCL, this was supposed to be a quick trade. I was not expecting it to go down this fast, but it's a 10-cent winner. We're taking it out right now because Neil and I just playing in this range. I think that's very important. So these are the 2 positions I have on for you right now, both shorts. So let's see what happens. And oh yeah, by the way, it's a good day. Fruit salad almost crushed here. I do like it, Neil. You're right about that kiwi. Very nice. A kiwi, very nice.
The kiwi is delicious. It absolutely is. I just got more shares loaded up, reloaded in Chug, as whatever you want to call it. I also still like that L Brands position, but I'm going to tell you what we need to be doing here. Each time that it retests VWAP, I just feel like you're sort of throwing away money if you don't take some out here. It keeps giving you this 20-cent win, so I'm going to keep taking it so long as we can. Eventually, I am looking for a bigger break. The market is trading to the upside. It's trying to get back to positive on the day, but just like we've loaded up a few times here, I'm getting out 1, 2, 3 times for those 50, 20-cent wins. Still looking for my secondary target here, up at 12.13. That'd be about a 30-penny winner, and then I want that home run to get up to that 12.35 mark like we mentioned. So L Brands, nice low at that 11.75. It's a higher low from this morning, and I still think there's a breakout potential on this trade. Might have to be patient with it here, but hey, we got a few winners onto the long side. Nothing wrong with letting them hang on as long as we're in a slight upward trend. Brendan, what do you have?
A little retailer here, guys. Railwinds, RTW, another penny stock. A day of crazy moves in penny stock land. 7.6% for RTW in New York, back to 33 here. Huge volume spikes coming into this thing. They said today that the short interest in the stock is significantly low. What they were expecting it to be, down about 10%. So RTW moving higher, guys.
You know what, guys? Like in hindsight here, and I hate to say hindsight because it's one of the worst things in trading. But here we go, guys. I did get out of that Wayfair here on this tick. I'm going to find out what stop orders I can use maybe a little bit better, because that's 2 or 3 times. We got it on Hertz, and then we get it again here. So again, this is a 20-cent win, but look where it's going now. We're crashing down. Now we're $1.40 in the money here on Wayfair. So we're going to wait to see. I'm going to break this down for you just a little bit too much there. This is that little level. We're already there. Unfortunately, I called this level all the way up here, and we've just been trending all the way down. I wish we still had this one, but Wayfair goes right back to the top of my board as one of the top stocks for me today. Wayfair now making this move back down. I think we can crack even below this level, 161. So we got 164, $2 winner right now. So we pop a wheelie, 162.32. We're short 164.32. Just showed you that. So here we go, guys. Topping up our day at 11:30. This is what we like to do. So we didn't hammer it, but there's the hammer. Wayfair's been great for us today. We noticed it in the pre-market. Kevin and I both, I think obviously Neil as well, we talked about it being a little overdone. This name, guys, just if you're joining us now, and I want to call this up because this to me is unbelievable, the move that Wayfair had here. And I know we all think the same thing, but is this real? Like $25 down here? I guess it's real. All the way to 185. This is a 9 times move, Neil, in a month. Seems crazy for me. So I think the short was right there, guys. And yeah, Kevin, I see you on the chat there. I can't believe how much this has gone down, but I am glad that we do have it, my friend. Let's go to the board now, Neil, and see what Valeria has for most likely you. Let's see.
Hey, guys. Well, as I was mentioning before, I'm picking up one question each day to ask it directly to traders to be more helpful for you. Though we created a brand new educational channel called Market Wisdom by TraderTV.live. Guys, check out our first video about VWAP, and also if you want to know how to short selling, what are the best strategies for beginners, and how to buy the dip, stay tuned. We'll be posting videos constantly. And of course, here's the question. Well, guys, our viewer Robert is saying that he knows that you're day traders, but what would be one stock you would take to keep for the long-term investment? Neil, Sean, what would it be?
This is going to be easy. I've said this one a couple of times here, and I'm kind of in it today, and I've been looking to talk about buying it on any kind of move to the upside. And Pfizer is a safer type of play. And if you're one of those people that thinks that we have historical times happening right now and the market is looking ridiculously strong, in what is a lot of uncertainty, high unemployment, we're going to get some ugly numbers coming through Q2. So if you want to be parking into things forever that aren't swing trades, what do you want? You want something which has value. You want something which is in a sector which is going to be important for us when it comes to healthcare. I think Pfizer is well positioned. So for me, that's going to be an easy play here. And oddly enough, I happen to be long right now. So there you go. Hopefully that answers the question. I know, Sean, you might have some other picks as well. Maybe a tech name or two that you might talk about every now and then?
Yeah, okay, well, my call of the year was PayPal, but we got out of that one on some of those crazy moves down. You know which one I actually like, and I wasn't prepared for this, but I bought and picked it. It's already up a lot, but I like Square. I mean, I think Square does have a chance to be a decent investment here as some of the small businesses get back up and running. They have a few new products. Obviously, everybody has one of these bad boys. It's just a cell phone, that's all. Google Pixel, by the way. Oh yeah, Google would be one of my picks there as well. So Google for all time long, never ever get out of it. But if you just want to do a little bit of a swing trade, maybe the next 6 months, which I know is not really a swing, but I think Square has a chance to go. It's well off the bottoms though, but I do like what they're talking about. I actually picked some Square up in the 30s, so that's not bad. I did dump some in the 50s here, but Square could get back to 86. I still think there's a lot of room to run on this one. And my other guy, the one I love, I'm still holding a little bit of it, but we did get out, was PayPal. This stock, I mean, look how crazy strong this stock is. We're above where we were before coronavirus right now at 126. So I love PayPal, Google, Square, all those for the win. But you are right, Robert. We are day traders. So Neil's pick is long, and you're long in the equity right now as well. So
yeah, I mean, I'm also benefiting from a trend. It just so happens to be an upward trending day, and those positive news on Pfizer, of course, with a potential vaccine that they have been testing. But CHGG, I do have this short here at 58.05, looking for the rollover. And again, look, if you wanted to be taking this inside of the range and grabbing 50 cents or 40 cents or 70 cents, whatever it might be, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I just think for me, if I am going to be risking back to 58.50, or if someone wanted to risk to the high of the day, you are looking for a bigger pullback. It's up 30 to 33% wherever it happens to be at a given moment. And I think there's a bigger play to be had, but that doesn't mean you couldn't be doing a scalp trade. I do that from time to time, just not here. This is a pullback that I need more juice to. That's why we're structured short at 58, willing to risk 50. Our first out is until it goes almost $1 in the money for us, and then ultimately I want to see it get back to 56 at VWAP. Brendan, what do you have?
Nate, we were talking about a little bit earlier on this morning. AKBA just got flushed, huge flush through $12. Was a bit of resistance. They tested above it, and then huge sellers came in, took this thing down below 11, all in one shot. AKBA, they were talking about positive developments on a kidney disease treatment early this morning, so moving higher, but might be done for the day, guys.
Sorry, no, Brendan had mentioned this one. My apologies, guys. What a bit of a move here on Chewy. Secondary breakout through 41.25. It's just making a march to 42, and what an unbelievably strong stock this has been. In terms of hunting for plays on these sort of types of moves, at this time of day, I know usually you'll see me try to fight my way into a short position on one of these runners. Chewy's not going to be it. Like, maybe it presents itself in the afternoon, but I'm going to stay away. If you get a secondary break here at this time, this is a runner. If you got it, fantastic. Hold on to it, catch a trail. It's up 7%, but you know, if you ultimately look at what's happened in Chewy, this is a bounce play off of 39, which was a key level. And I'm looking at the daily chart here, guys. So it bounced off 39. It's making a secondary run. I'm not going to step in front of it. There isn't real resistance until it gets to about this 43 mark, which is $1 away from here. So that's the reason I'm not going to be sort of top picking on Chewy, not off that massive move that it's made, off a key level, that 39.
And look, Neil and I are not beside each other, so we don't know what each other have. But your boy has Chewy right now, so
nice.
If
I'd known, I would have led with that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just took it when you started talking about it. Brendan telling us that we're breaking new highs here, so I go long 41.78 right here. Like Neil mentioned, it's top heavy right now, and bang, there it goes. So a quick little floss off. Wow, okay, Chewy, a nice little 30-40 cent winner right now. We're long 41.78. We take some out 88, then we take some out 98, and now we're going upside here 08. Maybe we go 42.08. Yes, here we go. Nice little runner in Chewy. So we're just topping the day off right now. Wayfair, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I talked about it with you guys that this 61 level was something I wanted to sit at. Unfortunately, I don't put an order there. It does come down and now bouncing back up. So this is still $1.50 in the money. We're short 164.62. We're long Chewy right now. And guys, look at this one again. The fun continues to happen. Neil, I hope you're still long on Carnival.
Still long Carnival,
right,
still long Pfizer, still short. Like, everything's in the money with the exception of Mallinckrodt. I'm not blaming that one on Brendan. Every time I trade this stock, it just feels like it just doesn't go anywhere. And look, it's a good position. I like the stop area that I have. It just needs to get going. And with these cheaper names, like, it's a $3 stock, it might not move until the afternoon. So as long as you have your structure, there's trades that Sean and I will do where we're in and out in a matter of seconds. Sometimes we're holding for minutes. Sometimes we're holding for the entire day. And you have to be flexible, trade as many styles as you can be profitable on. But if you're starting out, don't try to do everything that we do. It's a little bit crazy. Both of us have been trading a long time. It's a lot to manage. If you see my setup, I have multiple level 2s, multiple screens here. I have stop orders all over the place. You build up to that. Start with 1 or 2 stocks at a time, start with 1 or 2 setups at a time, and then build from there once you have some profitability. Ultimately, you want to be able to manage 5, 6, 7 positions at a time if you can, like a portfolio. That's what we're trying to do here for you guys.
Here we go, guys. 161.60s here. This is a $3 winner right now in Wayfair. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to get out at some point here. I was waiting for 161.50 at the bottom. We touched off at 60 there. 161.60, guys. You guys know that we are short this name. 164.62 right here. And we should be, guys, way in the money. Well, we are way in the money, but we should have more shares. We did talk about getting wicked out here, so that's an apology, but who cares? This is the call that we gave to you guys. Kevin, shout out as well. Me and Kevin have been talking about this one. I first started shorting 171.50, so if you're still in it, that's a decent trade. But right now, Chewy, I was going to say Chewy blowing up as well. But Wayfair on the downside. Nice little $2 winner for you guys.
Yeah, and Chug trying to roll over again. Like I keep saying, we're only in the money about 40 cents, but that's just not enough for me. The structure of the trade is to try to hit a home run, so that's what we're going to try and do for you guys. That CCL, look, we're trying to get past that 14 mark. This is now the 3rd time that we failed at this price, and each time it's done that, I've slid my stop up. I'm not going to move it here. It's still a profitable trade no matter what, but I'm keeping my stop at that 13.60 mark. So either we get a move to VWAP VWAP, or we're going to be a profitable trade, but only about 20 cents on the last third. Brendan, what do you have?
How about a little Canadian flavor, guys? Fortis here, just popping up on a scanner. Day highs here for FTS here in Toronto, 1.4%. They report, I believe it's tonight, or maybe it's before the market opens tomorrow, but FTS going into earnings, very strong here today, guys.
FTS, I mean, that's definitely going to be worth a look. We always talk about earnings, but sometimes it's about the stocks that are more in play. One for you here that we did not get into. I just want to note Chesapeake here, big time move on huge volume just a few minutes ago, popping up $1.50. It is now retracing. When you get a move like this, the first thing I'm thinking about is where can you pick up a slide along? If I've missed a short retrace, I'm looking at 1730. I'm looking at 1750. That could be an interesting level. Thank you for pointing this out. I know I keep forgetting about NYSE, and we're right down to that level that we like. So I do have 5 positions on. Whoa, it looks like it might break it, so probably a good thing I didn't grab this long. If it takes out this 145, you probably want to be covering. This is that bottom. It did go to 43, so you might want to watch out and not have a hard stop, maybe have an area stop or manually trade this, but this is the area that if you're long, watch out below. This is the support. This is what you've been working off of all morning long on NYSE. And if it breaks, you're probably looking at 103 is the next area of support that I had written down. I'll see if I can find another one for you.
And there's a dancing gorilla there. We get it out. That's a $3.21 winner. So hit the air horn. Wake up if you're out there. Nice little win. We take it out there on Wayfair. We told you we were waiting 161.40. There it is right there. We got it a couple seconds ago, but here we are right at that level. So if you're not out with me now, you can get it. 161, a nice little $3.20 win. So we hit the cheer button, and we haven't done this since the beginning, but there's a chicken dinner winner for you. That's a good one. No matter how you go, $3.20 per share there with the win. We've been short all the way. Look at this trend. Short. You don't just avoid the price of the stock. Just trade it according to your share size and sort of your risk, because right here, a nice little win. You cannot avoid these runners today. I had no idea about Wayfair. It started kicking off early on here, 130 yesterday, big bump up, and there's the winner. Wayfair, my number one stock today. So we hit the cowbell to celebrate that victory. So we're pretty happy right now with the way Wayfair's printing out for us, guys.
Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with what's happening over here in Chug. You are starting to see it roll over a little bit here. My first leg of profit just got hit, so we're arrows down. We just took 70 pennies on our initial, we just took 80 pennies on our initial out there at 25. I am looking to get some out in front of VWAP, and we want a bigger hold here. So, 80 pennies, then we're looking for maybe $1.50, $1.60 on the second, third, and then we'll see if it can't flush through VWAP at 56 even for an even bigger play. So Etsy was a win, then a loss. Looks like Chug was a better short. It's up over 30%. That looks like it's going to be a good one for us here. So here's a home run for you at about 1140. A lot of times it's rolled over by now, but we're getting a late move in CHGG. I'm going to get you guys also back over to L Brands, which, I mean, look, it's been a bit of a slow moving trade. But again, if you had this one, we sort of gave you the structure of this, long at 1180 in front of that 1175. It made a higher low from the open. You get out some at VWAP a couple of times, load back up at 1181, take some out of VWAP again. We just got some of that target out at 1212. So you're talking about a 30-cent win. And we're still looking for a bigger move to the upside. I think you can take this one to maybe 35s. You're going to be loading back up if it gets anywhere down to that 1180 one more time. I'll keep taking it long as it doesn't break that support.
And CCL, Neil, we talked about that as well. And this is a big stock for both of us today as it keeps going upside here. We were short, cashed out. Now we go long. I have 200, just for you guys, you talked about are we day traders or not. I have 224 fills today. So there you go to answer that question. We do come back and we crush this market once again today. We're almost near the highest spot we were, back in the morning before we took that one hit on Hertz. But we are right back now. 13.97. We're long. CCL now 13.82. So this is a 15-cent winner, and that's part of that catapult today. Nice little moves happening today for Carnival Cruise Lines. Obviously, Norwegian came with that news there and hit this name down. I do want to look at Uber. Uber seems to be moving around a little bit now as well. I've kind of ignored the futures today, Neil. We're almost back to 2,900.
Yes, sir. Right?
Like tick, 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 tick. I think it's because I've been primarily short. I've ignored what these futures are doing. Impressive move.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big time move there. I was just sort of talking a little bit about L Brands, and then you see Carnival here. once again trying to get to this 14 mark, and we keep failing over and over again. And at this point, I can't get too stubborn with this. I'm going to need to take it off in front. It is a nice little 40-cent win. I think there's going to be other opportunities here. It's in front of VWAP, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4 tests of 14 and 4 rejections. For me, we'll take the 40-cent win on. It's still counter trend until it breaks it. There will always be long opportunities as long as it has another further break in it. That could be through VWAP. Maybe we'll wait that one out, or on a pullback down to that 1360 mark. So we'll go ahead. It was arrows up since that little bottom that we called on Carnival. We called it right here. And look, it's every now and then you're going to bottom pick and you're going to get it right. But the key there was the risk to reward. At the time, you were leveling off a little bit in Norwegian. I talked about wanting to go Carnival long when that happened, so we picked this one up, only really risking about 10 to 15 cents at worst, and able to make nice little 40-cent win there on the biggest part of our shares. 25 cents when we started taking profits, so good structure on CCL, even though we didn't get the home run that we had hoped for on that trade.
Yeah, there hasn't been many home runs since the very open there. I'm just noticing, guys, if you're checking out our Market Wisdom page, today may be the best day to do that. We do release a new video today on NYSE halts, how to trade them, how they could be affecting your nets. So there's some prosperous notes in that. So if you're definitely wondering about how halts work, you've seen them happen to us a couple times on the show. Learn how we trade them, how we look at them, and what they mean. NYSE halt video coming up very soon. I believe it's 11:55. Valeria will drop the link. So click on that link as it comes through. I'll wait till the end of the show, then click it. But 11:55, that video will be released. We're really happy for that one. This is CCL, guys. Still going upside here. We still have the long. I know we've been talking about this maybe to death today, but we're long 1382 right here. CCL Carnival Cruise now back to 14. Not a bad spot to drop our shares. I think I'll do that. We'll take this 18 penny winner off right now on CCL and then regroup. But so far so good today, guys, on CCL. I know Neil and I have both been trading this one quite well.
Yeah, absolutely, and a fantastic call there. I'm going to give a kudos to Matt, and I'm going to give you the money sign on that little bit of a long. This is why, as much as I haven't been able to be as active as I want to in MBIS, because I've really been distracted with the wealth of positions that we've had on here. As CCL just broke 14, so I'm going to try that long on a break. Look, MBIS, I just mentioned to you guys why that support area of 45 to 50. You shouldn't have a hard stop. I said give it to 43 because that was going to be the low this morning. So what happens? It flushes through 45, triggers a bunch of people out, and then bounces, giving you that 10-cent bounce. And this is what you have to look for here. Sometimes it's not just about having a level. You have to understand the mentality of who it is that you're trading against. People will look at those even levels and say, okay, I'm just throwing my stop at $1.45 and I'm going to walk away from it, not even paying attention to the fact that when it first tested that level in the morning, it did break and then had a hard turn after that. So you got to look at something like that and learn from it. It's only an extra couple of pennies there. If you can't risk that, you shouldn't be making the trade anyways. But if you did, congratulations, Matt. Fantastic look there on MBIS.
Yeah, I see that, Kevin. Wayfair, unfortunately, doesn't have what I need because I'm out of Wayfair. But bang, 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 bang. Glad to see the short still in there. I know a lot of you guys might trade options and whatnot. This might be one. If you had it early, we were just talking about hating on this stock off that report. Obviously, it's hard to hate a stock that's up 20%, but it was up 30%. So 182 all the way down to 161. We've been shorting this thing the whole way. And yeah, it's a catapult for me. Wayfair and CCL neck and neck here for my top stocks today. So really happy with the way these ones are performing. But without any further ado, guys, it's guest of the day time. So let's throw it over to Brendan with our guest of the day.
Hey guys, yeah, welcome. Very happy to have Warwick Smith with us today, Director and CEO of American Pacific Mining Corporation. We're going to have a look at some of their operations currently. They're focused in the gold sector in the western portion of the U.S. Traded here in Toronto on the CSE as USGD. We'll have a look at the chart and see how things have been moving around as far as American Pacific is concerned. They also trade down in the U.S. on the OTC market. Great to have you on the show, Warwick. It's been an exciting start to the year, obviously, as far as the mining sector is concerned. Gold has come off that kind of 1740 level that we saw reached a little bit earlier. As far as American Pacific is concerned, how have things been so far this year?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Brendan. I really appreciate it. It's been an exciting year, a year of significant change for American Pacific. We got involved in a transaction about 3 weeks ago on an asset in Montana. It's a gold copper asset. It's something that we're incredibly excited about, in large part because it's in joint venture with a company by the name of Rio Tinto. Rio Tinto being the second largest mining company in the world. You know, presently we're a fairly small company with about a $3 million market cap. So when you've got the second largest mining company in the world teamed up on one of your assets, it tells you you're probably onto something quite good.
Yeah, I was going to let you, release the news on that one. But yeah, teaming up with Rio Tinto, that's huge, obviously, for the company. Give us a little bit of a perspective of what that project entails.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a project I actually looked at with my business partner in 2016. Another company beat us to it. They were able to pick it up. They had about a $75 million market cap, went through a management change, actually ended up halting, and they're actually the company that ended up becoming Mind Medicine, Kevin O'Leary's company. I believe you had him on for an interview as well. So their company was the precipice for that. So as they got out of mining, we got in touch with them. We were able to negotiate a deal to pick up the asset, and they had already done the deal with Rio Tinto. So they'd done a lot of the hard work for us, which was great. So Rio's committed to spend up to $30 million US to earn up to 70% of the project. They spent about $2 million in drilling last year, $2 million US on drilling last year. And they're doing a substantially larger program starting in the summer here. So for a company with a $3 million market cap, you can foresee somewhere close to $10 to $10+ million of a drilling coming out this year. That ought to create a lot of excitement for a small company like ours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely a catalyst going forward as far as the remainder of this year is going to be. When do you see, as far as the timeline goes, when do you see some of these benefits coming through as far as this deal is concerned?
Yeah, it's been interesting times. I mean, as this has just happened, we're just sort of sorting through timing, but the correct answer is short order. The drill holes that were done in 2019 were never released. We're excited to release those. As American Pacific, we'll put those out. And then Rio had initially intended to start drilling in May. With coronavirus, we're not sure if it's going to be May, June, or July. We're going to see how that shakes out. But that drill program is already permitted. I know a lot of the sites are already built, and I'm certainly very excited for them to get back in there and look to do what is a significant program, especially for a company of our size. Again, if your risk reward at a $3 million market cap when you've got $10 million worth of drilling coming just off of one project is pretty high, especially when you've got Rio Tinto being the one drilling the holes.
Yeah, just looking at the chart here. If we want to, guys, we can pull up the chart of the CSE listing, American Pacific here, trading around the 16-cent mark at this point. We had a bounce off of, I guess it was down there around 6.5, 7.5 cents earlier on in the year. I mean, we've been seeing this incredible volatility in the overall market as far as the stock is concerned. Very steady pace, kind of moving back to the upside. Now, what do you see over the next kind of 6 months, Warwick, is going to be the next catalyst for this stock?
Well, drilling is going to be the big catalyst. Anytime you're in these junior mining companies, drilling is really your key catalyst to drive forward and create excitement. So that's certainly one, and there's going to be a hell of a lot of it. On top of that, we've got two other great assets that are down in Nevada, one just outside of Elko and one just outside of Reno. We've got significant interest in those assets as well from other mid-tiers and majors. So we're looking to joint venture those out as well. We think it's smart for a company our size to have larger companies come in, earn into these assets, and that way we're keeping our burn rate low, but we're also getting that pleasure of those drill holes that the money is being spent by someone else. So that's the program that we look to run, and we're excited to see those catalysts come forward.
From an overall perspective, if we go to more of an industry kind of standpoint, what do you see as being the next kind of move in metal prices, or the cause behind the move in metal prices? Typically, we've talked a lot on the show about, anytime you see volatility in the equity markets, you kind of see metal prices going higher, yet that safe haven kind of play. In your opinion, what's going to be the next kind of push for metal prices?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we're in the midst of it. We've been waiting for it for a while. So from that standpoint, it's nice to see the metals prices finally reacting. The real next, we want to see gold over 1750 and hold that. I think if it doesn't, you may see a bit of a pullback. but that's healthy as well. Look, companies can make a hell of a lot of money at $1,700 gold. I'm naturally a optimist because I run a junior mining company. So I'd certainly believe that we'll see $2,000 gold, and again, relatively short order, I think likely in 2020 or shortly thereafter. And I think you're going to see that because you can print as many dollars as you want, but you certainly cannot print gold.
That's a big move, obviously, from where we are now to that big kind of landmark of 2,000 that everyone's been talking about. It seems like for years now. When it comes to gold, from an industry standpoint, are there any challenges you see, going forward as far as maybe the price for metal or just as an industry as a whole? Obviously, the coronavirus is top of mind for everyone. Are there any kind of significant challenges in the near term that you see?
Yeah, the coronavirus is a very interesting one for us. Typically before, when gold mines had been halted or put on care and maintenance, it was because they had run out of ore or because of low metals prices. Those are your two key catalysts to halt a mine. You're not seeing that now. You're seeing, mines that have ore ahead of them that are making money have to halt production. There's 808 gold mines. As of 2019, there was 808 gold mines that were in production. By mid-April, 330 of those had halted production, because of the coronavirus. Now, underground mines are affected more than the open pit mines, simply because of social distancing. You're much closer when you're underground, but they all have their challenges. Even open pits. What a lot of people probably don't recognize is when these guys are going to work, they usually are going in on buses. They bus the guys in to go to work. And obviously that's got its challenges. You can't sit side by side, etc. So yeah, the coronavirus has been a real challenge. It's caused a lot of issues. Now the one thing that has helped, oil prices are down significantly, as we all know. That's your biggest cost factor in mining. So having oil prices down helps tremendously. So, there's going to be ups and downs. I think the coronavirus is going to be here probably for a while, although I think we're getting a better handle on it. I certainly hope that not just for mining, but for all of us. So going forward, I think you're going to see a lot of excitement in mining just because of the volatility in the rest of the world. And maybe it's finally our time to shine.
Is there any kind of increase as far as expenditures or costs that is going to be incurred because of maybe safety measures that will be implemented to kind of deal with the outbreak?
Yeah, no question. I think like all industries, they're going to see significant changes because of this. I mean, when guys are coming in, they're probably going to want those infrared heat-seeking cameras to check people's temperature. Obviously, the cost of now using 2-3 buses instead of using one, the list goes on and on. But yes, we're going to be affected just like every other industry. It's going to be a worldwide shift. There's good companies out there that are addressing these types of things, and I think those companies are going to do well also. But for mining, yeah, there's going to be some increase in costs. Now, right now, that's being offset by the cost of oil dramatically. So we're thankful for that.
Definitely interesting times, interesting sector to pay attention to over the next coming weeks and months. Warwick Smith joining us from American Pacific Mining Corporation. Best of luck over the next coming weeks and months as well. I mean, stay safe and healthy, Warwick, and hopefully we can get an update in the near future.
You as well, Brian. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. There we go, guys. A little bit of a look at the mining sector here in Canada. American Pacific Mining traded as a USGD on the CSE here in Toronto. .cn, if you're on the PPRO 8 platform, you can have a look at that stock. Down in the US, USGDF on the pink sheets. So Warwick Smith, Director and CEO there of American Pacific Mining. Back to the guys.
I mean, great gets. I actually called it up. Look, 54,000 shares, not overly heavy today, but we do love that Rio Tinto story. More to come on this stock. And look, you can day trade this, no problem. You just got to catch the right fill. I mean, taking half a cent on 10,000 shares, still $500. So there's lots of volume here. Let's get this name. We'll have a look at this maybe in a week or two and see where we're at. But we definitely like those catalysts there. Thank you, Brendan and Warwick. Great interview there, and I hope it was informative. And look, just I don't know if you're watching the chat there, Brendan. I know Neil and I were getting a lot of questions about it as well. So thank you so much for that. And look, mining is an interesting spot. nevertheless, regardless of the timing, you never know when you're going to hit it big, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. A fantastic job there. We're only a couple of minutes to the end of the show. I'm just going to recap a few of my positions, but I'm not going to bore you with MNK. We still have that short on. That's fine. It's more the Pfizer. We do have that 38.50. I've been talking about this. The market is still moving upside 2%. I still like to see that 39 break. That's my target. It's a break even for me. You can retrace the view up. I don't care. 38.50 is a break even out. My price is actually 38 because that was our best reload, but we're going to hang on to that one long. For the last time, I'm going to drop you guys the numbers here very quickly. Look, we trade lots of markets here. We just talked about mining some names that are trading in Canada, like the CSE, and coming through. One of the top markets for us isn't just the U.S. It's actually going to be in trading the TSX and trading in the CSE. You do see that someone made 6,500 in the Toronto markets there. New York and NASDAQ came 1-2 in yesterday's session, 30,026 for an individual trader. Amsterdam, 12,000, and then recapping what happened the rest of in Europe, Germany and London leading the way, of course, as bigger markets. So we trade a lot of markets here at Day Trade the World, lots of opportunities, not just the U.S., which we tend to show you. Brendan, what do we have?
Yeah, about a minute to go here, guys. Let's have a look at what is coming up after market today. Still lots of earnings, big names, in fact, as far as the earnings to get through over the next couple of days. Yeah, Sean, your Disney's on there.
Oh, geez, yeah, my Disney. Yeah, I mean, Disney's been a little bit of a problem. I'm a holder of a lot of these names. Beyond Meat. I wish I was in EA and Activision Blizzard.
In the game.
Those are interesting to me. What else is there? CVS. A lot of these names.
Shop. This is a big one.
Yeah, Shopify there in Canada. That's where we're located, Toronto. Shopify, big time here. We'll
all in his face. That's okay. You can put the flag anywhere you want, right?
My bad, Brendan. Well, Brendan's about as Canadian as they come as well. We're all
definitely
very proud to be Canadian here. But yeah, Shopify, great little look there. I love that name. But look at Disney, guys. The reason why we bring it up is because everybody and their mother knows this company, I think. And if you have kids, you know this company.
No, your kids
Disney
know it
today,
real well.
0.34. Let me just call up the daily chart here. I was lucky enough to get some again near 80, but we are off to the races. We did see, wowzers, I didn't even notice this, a 114 the other day. We've pulled back about 10% here in 3 days. So Disney's going to be one to watch. I still think they have a lot of catalysts. Let's wait to see. Bob Iger's out now, so we'll wait to see what comes from all of this. They just released Star Wars, Neil. That's the 9th, I think, right, Neil?
Yeah, you think episode 9 just came out on Disney Plus. Yeah. I was more interested in watching the end of Clone Wars, which is fantastic. If you haven't seen it and you're a nerd and like I am, make sure you check that one out.
I always thought Clone Wars was like a kid's thing, but it's not.
It's a cartoon, but believe me, if you're a hardcore fan, you're gonna love it.
Okay, so Clone Wars coming to an end, and Mandalorian. Apparently, there's a new series for Mandalorian as well. But okay, looks like we're ready. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The day it is here today.
Okay.
I'm loving this. Let's go, Valeria.
Dear viewers, thank you very much for joining us today. Subscribe to this channel and catch us live every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, I sent you the link with the video about what holds are in the day trading and how they can affect your trades. Check it out and subscribe for our educational channel. I sent you the link, and it's called Market Wisdom by tradertv.live. We'll be posting videos constantly. Already video about VWAP is there. Check it and write in the comments what would you want us to make next. But a lot of videos are going to be available for you soon. What is short selling? What are the best strategies for beginners and how to buy deep? Many more. Subscribe for both of our channel, hit the thumbs up and share the link with your friends. Also guys, as usual, I'm saying what national day is today. Well, today is the National Hoagie Day. I prefer to say sandwich. Guys, what's your favorite sandwich? Mine, tuna, avocado. Sean?
Ooh, you know what? That is a good one. I was actually going to say a hoagie is a delicious sandwich, but wow, pulled pork's good, but the tuna avocado, I do love that myself.
Yeah, she doesn't just say tuna, guys.
You got to get the avocado.
That's what you gotta
look, I'm Italian, so salami, sopressata, whatever. Loving salami, loving sandwiches. Shout out to our Italian friends as well. Porchetta. Look, I can go on and on.
Sean,
let's just stop because
Sean, come on.
I'm getting mad that I'm still at the seat.
You got to get meatballs in there too. Like,
stop it.
Who doesn't like a meatball?
Veal Parmesan?
Oh my goodness, guys, we got to get some food in here.
I'm done. Tapping out.
Look, we're obviously excited. It's been a fun day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to our guests. It was a fun morning. We're glad to have Sean back. Arun doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Arun, for filling in yesterday. Thank you, Kevin, for jumping in on the chat. Like Valeria said, do tune in and watch that new video. When you want to talk about trading in like the New York Exchange, understand the way the market works. Volume and volatility off the open and close are important. It's a really fantastic video. Check it out at our new channel, of course, Market Wisdom. So you want to tune in there. For the entire team, I'm going to go down the line here. Valeria is always doing a fantastic job on the chat and are in focus. Sean, welcome back. He takes a day off, and it's a good day. I know. I'm just not going to give away what it was, but we're glad to have you back. Obviously, it was a fun day today. We missed you definitely yesterday. As Arun did a fantastic job himself. Brennan is always doing a great job there and making me very hungry with the meatball call. Thank you very much. Now my mouth is watering. And as always, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
No dot.
No. Oh yeah, that's right. And no copyright today.
Oh, I'll mess that one up tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow I'm going to say the dot. I'll screw it up.
Okay.
It's funny you mentioned like Disney. Disney looks like it was a breakdown.
Yeah, the market's up huge. What? Yeah, he got into Waterloo.